Well, it really is one of the most picturesque grounds in the competition, with the palm trees down at the southern end, Brisbane Waters looking beautiful with the boats on it as well, and then a nice crowd here at Central Coast Stadium for the Roosters and the Warriors. Daryl Bromer, we'll come to you. Obviously plenty of talk out here today about the fact that Roger Tuivasa-Sheck comes up against his former club. No doubt the text messages have been flying back and forth because he was one of the fan favourites here at the Roosters, wasn't he?
Oh, he's a superstar. He was an absolute superstar. I'd say the Warriors would probably be a little disappointed. It's taken him a little while to fit in there, and I think he'd be the first to admit his form hasn't been all that flash. But, you know, as we said a few times over the last week or so, every time you come up against your former teammates, you want to lift, and there's no doubt that the Roosters are well aware of the danger that he provides for this Warriors outside. I mean, you also got to look at Sean Johnson, who I think it also would agree he's been down on form. You know, this will all come on the back of their forwards, though. I think at the end of the day, if the forwards can do a job for the Warriors or the Roosters, the backs have enough quality in both these back lines to finish off the job. So whichever forward pack finishes on top, I think they'll win.
All right, Piggy, down to you on the touchline. Just flick him on there if you can, please, Davey. Piggy, you've had a lot to do with the Roosters in the past. You've watched them over the last couple of weeks. Where do they need to tidy up areas to win this game of footy?
Oh, look, I think there's a fair few areas that they've got to improve on. Their ball control would be one. They've got to put their opposition side under a lot more pressure. And that, with that, is the game of the halves. They've got to kick a lot better. They've got to keep building pressure on their opposition and create some more opportunities. And I'm sure this afternoon, Jackson Hastings and Jaden Nikorima will be aiming to do that.
All right, as the Roosters make their way out, and they've got the young kids up here on the Central Coast, and I know for a fact, speaking to John Lee, the Chief Executive, a lot of the Roosters, the injured brigade, have been up here all week out in the community trying to spread the message, because, of course, the Roosters feeder club now is the Wyong Roos, formerly Newtown. Now they've formed an allegiance with Wyong Roos, which apparently is quite successful and has been over the last 12 months. So the Roosters come out onto Central Coast Stadium. They take up position at the southern end of the ground. It'll be the Warriors to get us underway. So I'll hand you over to David Morrow for his call of the Roosters and the Warriors as round 5 continues. Thirsty, it's all yours.
And a mate of mine who actually works in the perfume industry. The reason we had so many varieties of perfumes and colognes is that not everything smells the same on everyone's skin. It reacts differently to your skin type. So that's why we have so many perfumes.
Is that because of pharaoh somethings?
I don't know. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, what are they? Pheromones or whatever it is? Yeah. Something like that. Anyway, I'm not sure whether that's what it is, but it's anyway, it's an explanation.
Thanks,
probably a marketing explanation, which is probably in the end, they just have a reason to put out as many perfumes as possible. As Matt Check-in is just waiting for the floor manager to give him the go-ahead. That's the floor manager who's actually operating for the television station. He gets the go-ahead, and Matt Check-in, the referee, gets us underway. And the Roosters defending the Roosters' end. In other words, the southern end, the Brisbane Waters end, and Napa brings it back. He's going to be tackled about 12 metres out from the goal line at that southern end of the field, 20 in from the eastern touchline as they work the ball out. And they almost make a break there, as the Roosters, through Ferguson, took the ball out to their own 30. Penalty then for not rolling away, and so penalty the Roosters. Good start for them. A good run from Ferguson. Really got the Warriors on the back foot, and now they've got the penalty because they just wouldn't let him get up and play the ball quickly, because I think they were rocked a bit by the good run.
Well, the run was sensational. He almost went straight through the middle of their forward pack. It's a bad sign for them. I know it's only early in the game, second hit up, but he almost went straight through them, Ferguson.
Here's Napa bringing it up, and he's taken there very strongly. He's about 5 metres inside the New Zealand Warriors half as the ball comes back to Hastings. Hastings floats across field, and Tokarau takes it up. He's going to be tackled around about 35 metres out from the goal line. Warriors enter the field. He'll play it to Friend. Friend goes back now, and Lou gets it away. Comes to Hastings. Hastings on to Guerra, and Guerra's tackled 25 metres out now from the New Zealand Warriors line. He's 20 metres in from touch. Friend goes the open side, off to Sam Mower. Mower's tackled 12 metres out on the goalpost, northern end of the field, 0-all on the hotels. It's a core hotel scoreboard today. Ball comes away to Hastings. Hastings puts up the first bomb of the afternoon, and coming for the ball and taking it well and saving the day for his team is Lola here, and he plays it close to his own goal line as the captain Mannering. I like to call him Mannering, even though he's not the captain anymore. But anyway, Simon Mannering was the man who brought the ball.
Got a good ring to it, Captain Mannering.
Well, it was that famous show, remember? The
Captain Mannering show.
No referee's microphone today, thank you, Mark. So we had a technical problem there. So for those wondering where it is, it's not there today. So we see the Warriors bring the ball out. They played to Isaac Luke. He offers the ball up to Lillyman. Lillyman gets it out, and he's tackled about 35 metres out from the goal line, 20 metres in from touch on that eastern side of the field. Long pass comes away to Sean Johnson. Johnson kicks. It should go down the throat of Tupu, and Tupu is tackled. He's going to run the ball back to his own 30. He runs into Mannering, and also over there is the centre Aceford, and he floats the ball up in the end as it goes to Latrell Mitchell, and Mitchell's going to be tackled 10 metres shy of the halfway line and make it about 39 metres out in the goalpost at his end of the park, the southern end in the first half. And on the scoreboard for this afternoon's match brought to you by Accor Hotels, it's still 0-0 between the Roosters and the Warriors.
Yeah, seems to be a lack of atmosphere out there at the moment. The Roosters, the Warriors have only had the ball for one set. They couldn't get anywhere near halfway. Roosters have looked far better with the ball in hand, but just seems a bit of a lack of atmosphere around this place at the moment. Let's get something happening here, Davey.
Yeah, you're right. Lou gets the ball away to Napa, and Napa brings it up. And Napa takes the ball to within 12 or 13 metres of the New Zealand Warriors line. Last play coming up again. They'll go the open side. Friend away now to Hastings. Hastings puts up a chip bomb, and they're looking for the ball on the far side. It's knocked back into the hands of Ferguson. Ferguson puts a grubber kick into the corner, and I think you'll find that a Roosters player has gone through and scored. Kenny Dow's dived on the loose ball and opened the scoring. And on the Accor Hotel scoreboard, it's Roosters 4, Warriors 0.
Brilliant. That was a brilliant bit of work there. It was Kenny Dow. The ball went up from Hastings. It was Kenny Dow who went in the air. He tapped the ball back. It went to Ferguson. He sort of darted down the blind side, and then he just put a little grubbering kick in, and Kenny Dow just showed too much want. He was the one who wanted to get there. There was a few Warriors players there. I'm just having a look at the replay here now. It went back to Ferguson. He put the chip in. There's 3 or 4 of them there. I think Kenny Dow had to actually scoop it up and put it down. It's a brilliant bit of work from Kenny Dow. He's been in absolutely brilliant form this year in a side that hasn't won a game. But let's have a look at this on the head-on. Kenny Dow, he had to get it. He scooped it up, dived over. Brilliant try to Kenny Dow.
Yeah, great start to the afternoon. Sean Kenny Dow, the first 4-pointer, and Mark Riddell. That looked too easy, but again, I'm not sure what Robson was doing, but he was more intent on stopping Ferguson getting to the ball than forgetting about the ball itself.
Yeah, it just looked like Sean Kenny Dow wanted that ball more. And boys, look, early on in this game, I know we've only had nearly 5 minutes of play. Already we've seen the 2 attacking kicks for the Roosters go to both their wingers. Obviously, Daniel Tupou on one wing, Sean Kenny Dow on the other. Both very tall men. So I'm sure they're going to persist with that this afternoon. They've already got some joy from it through the try to Kenny Dow.
And it's Hastings who's going to have the shot at goal from wide out. He's about a metre in from touch. As you'd expect with the right winger scoring a try from a cross-field bomb. He's about 22 metres out, eastern side of the field, so all that crowd over in that grandstand basically looking into the sun, as is the goal kicker. But it's a difficult kick, certainly from that side of the field for a right footer. As he puts his hand up to his eyes, which indicates that he's probably got some trouble even seeing where the goalposts are at the moment.
Sunny.
It is, and he'd be looking fairly pretty much straight into the sun. Here comes Hastings. There's the kick. Looks pretty good off the boot. Magnificent kick from the youngster. And on the Accor Hotel scoreboard, the Roosters are leading by 6 points to 0, and that's after 5 minutes here at the stadium here on the Central Coast.
You get the feeling, Dave, and I've always said this, sunny day, 2 sides probably down the bottom of the table. You're going to get a lot of points in this game, and I reckon we're going to get a real lot of points in this game. What is it, 6-0 here after 5 minutes, as you said. I think we're going to see scoring glut from both sides here.
Well, what have you backed the overs?
Well, I did have something on Sean Kenny Dow, first try scorer. You may have noticed there. God, I love that man.
You're on fire.
I am, actually. I've had a big weekend.
James Roberts, first try
Still
scorer.
broke.
Last night, who would you tip last night?
I did mention to you blokes yesterday Luke Lewis, but I did have something on James Maloney, outrageous.
Well, and Luke Lewis scored the first try today, first try scorer Sean Kenny Dow. Well, let's hope the form continues for him as the ball is taken ahead now by Lou. Ball comes back to Guerra. Guerra straightens up and he's hammered in a good tackle near the halfway as Lillyman picked him up in company with Madalena. It's a fair couple to run into. Ball fed to Orbison on the right. Orbison tries to go down the centre. Good tackle from Robson. He's tackled just inside the Warriors' territory. Last play coming up. 15 in from touch. Eastern side of the field. Hastings puts a kick in. Should be grabbed by Lola. Here it is. 11 metres out from his own goal line. And let's see what they can do this time, the Warriors. They haven't had the ball inside the Roosters' territory yet. That's because both times they've had the ball, they've actually had to start basically on their own goal line. So it's been pretty tough going for them so far. Territorial, it's been all the Roosters, and on the scoreboard that's reflected the Accor Hotel scoreboard. Roosters lead 6 points to 0 as the ball's taken ahead by Lillyman. He runs it back to the halfway line. He's on the eastern scrum line. He'll play it to Isaac Luke. He comes back to the big fella, and taking it up right there is Albert Vete. And Vete has had a good start to the season, this fella, and at the last moment he got a ball away. It's knocked backwards and knocked behind.
No, they're going to tell him to play the ball.
He's going to tell him to play the ball. He's obviously cool-hilled. Referee puts his arm up to indicate that it's the last try. He wasn't wanting to go to the toilet. As the ball comes away to Johnson. Johnson, a wrap-around move with Mannering. Mannering gets it away to Ashford. Ashford runs the line. He puts a little chip kick in, but the chip kick's too... the kick goes over the sideline on the full. He had Lola here with him. He probably did the right thing by not passing to him, because Lola here would have been pushed into touch. But if you're going to put the chip kick in, at least make sure it stays in the field of play.
Yeah, last tackle. He got a bit cramped there, I think, Ashford. But it was a good sign there from the Warriors insofar as there was a movement along the back line there. We saw Sean Johnson get the ball, run it a bit. They need to do that on a couple of tackles in a set of 6, not just on the last tackle. Good Warriors, Warriors that play football are without doubt the most dangerous Warriors side. I don't want to see them go into their shell. I want them to show some flamboyancy, champion.
Here comes Isaac Liu taking the ball inside the Warriors half again. The Roosters on the Accor Hotel scoreboard leading 6-0. Sam Mower throws a dummy, goes on his own. Don't know why you take one of his dummies either, as he's hammered into the ground. Very rarely does he pass the ball. Comes away to the 11. Tokarau, he takes it up his long striding lock forward. He's tackled about 22 metres out on the goal line. 10 in from touch. Played to Friend. They go the short side, and the Friend holds it up to Latrell Mitchell, but Mitchell's well held, but I think you'll find the pass was forward. Is that what they're ruling?
I don't know what he ruled there. Latrell Mitchell really didn't even try and catch that, as he sort of threw his arms in the air. I think maybe they did rule a forward pass as they went the blind side. They definitely had a 3-on-2, but they ran out of space.
Unless, of course, he might have actually knocked it into the Warriors player and caught it back.
That's probably what he's done, yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Now see what's happened. The ball actually came loose into the hands of the centre, would you believe, out here in Elliott, and that's what the referee has seen. And quite rightly, it's a handover to the Warriors. Who've got it 30 out in their own goal line. And Luke goes for a dart out of dummy half. He pinches about 5 metres. Now he pinches 10 more as he makes some easy metres down the centre of the park. That's a promising start. We haven't seen Isaac Luke. This will be a penalty for holding down. And Isaac Luke won that penalty by sheer perseverance. And Friend is the one who's been pinged, and now he's talking to the referee to buy some time for the defensive side.
Yeah, I don't know what he's whinging about. I've got no doubt he held him down. There was a nice run from Isaac Luke. So, already in this game, and we're only 9 minutes into it, we've seen good signs from Isaac Luke, good signs from Sean Johnson. Just need to throw 2 of Arsa in there and we'll have the trifecta.
Now, let's see what happens as it comes to Luke. I'll get down to Piggy in just a second, because I noticed the Roosters have made a change, which I'm certain wouldn't have been a scheduled change, only 10 minutes into the game. 20 metres out on the goal line. Ball's going to be played to Hoffman. Hoffman to Robson, who made a good effort to try and knock it on, and in fact the referee's ruled he has knocked it on. In fact, it might even be a forward pass. It doesn't make much difference. It's the result the same. It's a mistake by the Warriors in possession, and the Roosters are going to get a scrum feed 20 metres out in their own goalpost, southern end of the field. And on the Accor Hotel scoreboard, it's Roosters 6 leading the New Zealand Warriors 0 as we almost approach the 10-minute mark. But that didn't look like a scheduled change that I just saw Sam Mower leaving the 4 mark.
No, it certainly wasn't. Kane Evans on the field for Sam Mower. It was a free interchange. I think you remember, Thirsty, Sam Mower got up very, very slowly the last time he carried the football, and he's off the field for a concussion test.
As Orbison takes the ball ahead, and he's tackled about 5 metres shy of the halfway line. There's a bit of speed in the way that the Roosters are playing the football at the moment. They're doing well. Here comes Evans. Oh, what a bone-crushing tackle. That was Vete. Hit him low over the top, Madalino. I tell you what, welcome to first grade this afternoon, as Hastings takes the ball to the line, and he's tackled 42 metres out on the Warriors line. 20 metres in from touch, and this will be a penalty for holding down. That's one thing Matt Checken hates.
Well, they're in a great attacking position here, the Roosters. I remember calling a game last year between these two sides at Allianz Stadium. Let me tell you, the battle between Ferguson and the other centre, Qatar, was just breathtaking. Ferguson got on top of him, and he looks sharp today, Ferguson. He's dangerous every time he's touched the ball.
And Evans takes it up, and Evans runs into some solid defence again. He's tackled 8 metres out now from the Warriors line. The Roosters lead on the Accor Hotel scoreboard, 6 points to 0. It's fed to Hastings. On it goes to Lou. Lou charges the line. He's tackled 5 metres out. Wants a quick play the ball. That should be a penalty. It will be a penalty. Holding on. Penalty to the Roosters now. Will they take the 2 to make it 8-0?
Geez, I wouldn't. I'd take the tap. They look dangerous to me. They look like they're going to score just about every time.
They're taking the 2.
Yeah, gee, I would have gone the other way. I know it puts you 8 in front, but 8 in front at this stage of the game is really nothing. There's only 11 and a half minutes gone. They will be 8 in front, but I think I would have rolled the dice there and had a crack at the line.
I agree with you, Darryl, because I think it's a game where there's a lot of points going to be scored on what I've seen at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think that, even though it's 8 points to 0, I'm just inclined to think that you're going to need a lot of tries in this game.
Well, Isaac Liu very nearly went straight through the middle of the defence, and it was a one-on-one tackle, and I'm not sure who it was who got him, but he only just stopped him. If he would have pulled out of that, he would have scored. Their defence around the fringes in the middle of the ruck, to me, is looking quite flimsy at the moment, the Warriors. They're looking okay with ball in hand, but they've got to stop making mistakes. They can't let the Roosters get too far in front of them here.
So here's Hastings. Was that game last year, the Warriors-Roosters game? Is that the one that... that was the one Roosters won 24-0.
Yeah, they won easily.
Yeah, the one early in the year, it was 25-21, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was over in New Zealand.
In New Zealand, that was a close one.
That was a great... Ferguson was dynamic that day, and Carter, or whatever his name is, he was good as well. But Ferguson, without doubt, took the honours that day.
Right in front of the sticks. Well, that close to it is not funny. Hastings to make it 8-0 on the Accor Hotel scoreboard as we see him line up. A little bit of a jig and a push and a show, and in he comes. There's the kick. Hastings. Hastings kicks the goal, and 8 points to 0 on the Accor Hotel scoreboard in favour of the Roosters over the Warriors as we go round the grounds for paddysmarkets.com.au. Billy McGee.
10 minutes until half-time in the Holden Cup. Penrith 6, Parramatta 4.
And the Warriors bringing the ball back to the halfway.
How hot's it? I need to ask Piggy, mate. How hot is it down there, Piggy? Is it quite warm?
Yeah, it is, Darryl. You're exactly right. It is quite warm down here at ground level. So there was no breeze earlier on, but there is a little bit of a breeze that's picked up that's going to favour the Warriors in this first half.
It's a northerly in the first half as Evans brings the ball back, and he's going to play it about 15 metres out in the goalpost down his end of the park as it's played to Friend, and Friend offers it up to Ferguson. And Ferguson, as he did in the first set of 6, he decides to take the second hit up, which is normally normally you see a big forward do that, but he's basically taking a bit of a load off his forwards as the ball comes to the left side of the field, and Tokerau is tackled, and he's tackled in a good tackle over here by the big fella at the big right centre, Ashford, and he's forced to turn over here because the lock forward has lost the ball, and the Warriors are going to get a scrum feed from 32 metres out, 20 metres in from touch. The last time they were down here, the Warriors, they mucked it up with a bad bit of handling in the centre of the field from Jeff Robson. And they really haven't had a chance to attack the line. So this is basically their second opportunity to put points on the board.
That's a great opportunity for them, in a great position. As you said, they're only 30 metres out. Got a full back line here. Here's Johnson going across field, throws it to Ashford, who's easy meat for the defence.
And he's going to be tackled. He's going to be tackled about 29 metres out in the goalpost. He's almost on that eastern scrum line. He plays it. Luke, off it comes to Robson. Lillyman takes it into the hit line. He's held up about 20 metres out, 21 metres out from the post, right in front of the post, in fact. Now, which side will Luke go? He decides to go to the left. Then he holds it up. It goes to Robson. He plays the front man, Hoffman, and there's flat at best that pass. Hoffman's tackled by 4 Roosters. He's 12 metres out in the goal line. He's on the eastern scrum line. Comes back to Robson. Robson will play the second man. That's Madalino. Madalino tries to go through them. He's tackled over the top was Napa. There's another defender underneath, and that man underneath was Lou. They go back the open side. It comes to Robson. Second man play to Tuivasa-Sheck. He floats it over the top. The pass took half an hour to get there, but I tell you what, the Beast has got it, and the Beast has scored. Big Manu Batabai crosses for his second try of the year, and on the Accor Hotel scoreboard, it's Roosters 8. The New Zealand Warriors 4. I thought they'd mucked it up there for a second, Darryl, with the pass that was literally a Harbour Bridge pass that took half an hour to get to Manu. But in the end, they got the points anyway.
Yeah, it's a problem for them, that right side, isn't it? Defensively, the Roosters. Again, it was Ferguson who rushed out of the line there. He failed to take Tuivasa-Sheck. Tuivasa-Sheck's footwork was just brilliant. Just stepped back on the inside, got on the inside of Ferguson. Then there was, I think, 2 Warriors players on the outside, and the winger had to come in as well, Kenny Dowell. And then there's the long, as you said, the Harbour Bridge pass. It found its man. All he had to do was really catch it to score. It's a nice hit back there, but it came on from a mistake from Tokerau or whatever his name is. What are you calling him?
Oh, mate, I bet there's too many pronunciations of his name.
Tokerau or whatever it is, but, you know, they just kill you. You just lose all your momentum. You give them some field position, and the Warriors are a good enough side to hurt you. If you give them too much ball, they're going to hurt you eventually. But that was a good sign there from Tuivasa-Sheck into the back line. Just dragged Ferguson to him and then just stepped him basically and threw a long ball over the top to Manu Vadavai, who's a fabulous player.
Well, he's on target again, isn't he? It's 2 tries this year in 5, so if he gets to 10 tries, it'll be 11 years in a row he scored 10.
It's incredible. You wouldn't think that record would be broken. I mean, he broke it last year, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he said it last year, didn't he? 10 years in succession, 10 tries each year. And just to think you've been able to play enough games to score 10 tries a year in a row.
Play 10 years in a row.
That's even an effort, isn't it? Here comes Johnson from out on that eastern side of the field. There's the kick from Sean Johnson into the direction of the post, but it's not going to come around. It started, but it just didn't swing back. And so on the Accor Hotel scoreboard, it's the Roosters 8 leading the New Zealand Warriors 4 as we go down to the sideline. And here's Mark Riddell.
Yeah, boys, I've got to go back to that penalty kick, the decision from the Roosters to take it. I thought it was a poor one. You know, they had a great opportunity there to put another try on the board. Instead, they take the kick. They cough up possession back in their own half afterwards, and the Warriors post some points. The Warriors would have looked at that and been very, very happy that they took the 2.
Yeah, the old story, isn't it, Darryl, that you try and do what the opposition don't want you to do, and I'm certain that they would have been happy they took the kick at penalty goal.
There's no doubt about that. They were under enormous pressure, and here they are. Jacob Lilliman, who's had a solid start to this game, taking it forward. They're now 35 metres out from their own line on about tackle 3.
Ball comes away to the right to Mannering, and Mannering comes back on the inside as he kept it alive at the last moment, but he kept it alive, and the only man who knew it was going to be kept alive or read it to be kept alive was Hastings, and so the Roosters get an easy turnover. What a good way to win possession back. Just gifted it there, and so they got the ball 35 metres out from the Warriors line. Hit Tokerau bringing it up, and he's banged into the ground 26, 27 metres out from the Warriors line. He plays the ball to Friend. They go the open side to Hastings, and Hastings gets the ball to Lou, and Lou decides that's exactly what Mannering did earlier. Look, we don't want to score any more tries in this first half. I'll knock it on and give you the opportunity. Well, that's what it looked like.
It just kills you, Coach. I mean, Trent Robinson, he'd be up in the box up above us somewhere just saying, oh, what the hell are they doing that? Once again, a wonderful opportunity. This appears to me as any side that can control the ball. I know it's only early in the game, but it's pretty easy to say. But either of these two sides control the ball. They got plenty of points in them. The defence isn't good enough from either of these sides.
Well, it's two sides that look as if they're running last and second last, which is about where they are on the competition table.
Well, definitely the Roosters are last.
Well, the Warriors are down there anyway. They've only won one game, and Newcastle's the only team with 1 point, so that's where they are. Tuivasa-Sheck has looked promising. His tackle's near the halfway line, and this will be a penalty for holding down again. So again, the Warriors are going to get field position on the back of a Roosters mistake.
Well, Dylan Napa came across and nailed him, actually. He just got out of a tackle from Jackson Hastings, and he was just standing there, and Napa nailed him. And the referee has penalised Napa for holding him, as you said. So now they've got an easy passage up into the Roosters' territory here as Johnson takes the tap and gives it to Mannering.
Mannering takes it ahead, and he's tackled 31 metres out on the Roosters' goal line on the Accor Hotel scoreboard. Roosters lead the Warriors 8 points to 4. Lilliman takes it ahead, and Lilliman's going to play it 22 metres out from the Roosters' line, almost in centre field. Into dummy half is Luke, and Luke darts out of dummy half. We've already seen him make one good run. He's making another good run here. He throws a dummy. He brings it back to Ashford underneath him. Ashford's tackled about 6 or 7 metres out. He's tackled 10 metres in from touch. They go a long way across field to Sean Johnson. He offloads the ball, and in the centre of the park, the ball is just dribbled out the back again. Picked up by Lilliman. Lilliman to Robson. Robson throws a dummy. He gets it away to Qatar. Qatar gets away from Ferguson, but Ferguson comes again and puts him down. 8 metres out in the goal line. A metre in from the eastern touchline. Vadavai is one of the biggest dummy halves in the world. He plays it to Robson. Robson offloads the ball, and again it's Lilliman who's taking it ahead. He's 10 metres out in the goal line. Last play coming up for this set for the Warriors. Ball goes back to the right then to Robson. Robson on to Johnston. Johnston puts a grubbing kick into the in-goal area. It goes. It'll be too deep, I think. Flying through Tuivasa-Sheck, and I'm just not sure whether Mitchell may have knocked it dead in front of Tuivasa-Sheck. That's what the referee's ruling. Line drop out. Good work from Tuivasa-Sheck. Off the boot, that looked as if it was going to go dead, but he kept himself alive to force the Roosters to knock it dead.
Absolutely. Mitchell was there, and he knew that Tuivasa-Sheck was there. Had he not knocked it dead, Tuivasa-Sheck may well have pounced on that and scored a try. I see Charlie Gubbs on the field here at the moment. He's on for Vete. So they've got to defend here, the Roosters. Now, their problem defensive area, I think, is their right, where Blake Ferguson's been defending. They've had so many tries scored down that side. I'm sure that's where the Warriors will be targeting.
And here he is. Big Charlie Ting brings it back. Gubb. He's tackled 32 metres out. We'll get to Billy McGee shortly. Every time I go to him, something happens in the game and a team's in an attacking position. Ball comes away to Madalino. Madalino, one armour back to Mannering. Mannering floats across field, then straightens up, and he's tackled 19 metres out in the goalpost. On the Accor Hotel scoreboard, Roosters 8, leading the Warriors 4 as Luke goes back to the left to Robson. Robson gets it back to Johnson on the switch of the switch of angle. It goes away then. A hospital pass to Aceford. Aceford did extremely well because he caught it as he was hammered by Tupu about 15 metres out. Ball played. Isaac Luke, he's had a busy game to start with. He's proving very hard to put down. Now charging onto the ball is Hopman. Hopman's tackled 8 metres out in the goalpost. Warriors on the attack. Isaac Luke goes back to the right to Gubb. Gubb tries to go right over the top of them all, and he's held up about a metre out from the goal line. Last play coming up for the Warriors. They go back to the left. It goes away. Little grubber kick into the end goal here. Chasing is Hopman. Did he get there? Did he get there? The referee, I think, is going to go upstairs to see whether Hopman's got behind him. He's got 2 arms in the air at the moment, the ref. I didn't think he got there, but the referee, I think you'll find, is going to double check to see whether Hopman scored a try. He says no try. And he may well be just double-checking also, Darryl, to ascertain how we restart the action. The ball finished over the dead ball line. Was it knocked on by Hopman? Was it knocked dead by the Roosters?
I think it took a really bad bounce for Hopman just as he's about to lay his hand on it. I think the ball bounced away from him. Look, I'm a long way away here, but I don't think he scored this try. He's gone to get to it. I don't think he's got a fingertip on it. In fact, it may well have even gone dead without touching anyone here. I'm just having a look at it. Head on here, Hoffman coming across. Now, there's a Roosters player grabs him by the collar here as he's trying to get this ball down. He misses it for mine. I reckon Latrell Mitchell may have even got his hand in between Hoffman's hand and the ball. And I'm not sure this ball hasn't just rolled over the line. Well, it's actually tapped dead in the end, I think, by Guerra.
Well, the other thing about it is, Darryl, is there grounds for a penalty for Hoffman being tackled without the ball?
I say definitely there is, because he was definitely held off the ball. There was an arm coming out from a defender, grabbed him by, the collar.
Penalty to the Warriors. So as we went to the video referee, of course, the Coates Hire video referee, and the Graham Annesley bunker has ruled exactly what Darryl saw, the penalty against Latrell Mitchell for tackling Hoffman without the ball. And
it'll be interesting to see what they do here, the Warriors. I doubt whether they'll take the 2. I think they'll go for the 6 here.
In fact, it wasn't Hoffman. It was actually Guerra, I think, who tackled Hoffman without the ball, as Mitchell was just in behind
Mitchell
it.
got in between them.
Yeah, there we are. It was Guerra who had the hand on the jumper, and Mitchell was underneath them all. Anyway, they've decided to take the tap here, and they've mucked it up on the first play, would you believe? And the Roosters are going to get the ball. The referee's still going to play the knock-on. He knock on both ways.
Well, that's just diabolical. I mean, that's Jacob Lilliman. The pass wasn't great, but it was a hand-off. The pass went no more than a metre. And it wasn't a great pass, but he's entitled to take that. This bloke's a state of origin rep. He's played numerous times for Queensland. That's just a lack of concentration.
Probably a lack of conversation too. Yeah.
But the ball wasn't great either from the 5'8" there. He threw it to him in Sean Johnson, but he's entitled to take that. That's a shocking miss.
Let's go round the grounds for paddysmarkets.com.au. Finally, Billy, hello.
Thursday half-time in the Holden Cup. Panthers 6, Eels 4.
And Mark Riddell, I do get the feeling I'm watching two sides that basically they don't know how to win yet.
No, I think you're right, Thursday. I think the big comment earlier on about whichever team settles down, starts controlling the football, building a bit of pressure, then they're going to come away with this win. But both sides being guilty of coughing up cheap possession. And just on Sam Murray, he's just gone back on the field, so obviously that concussion test was fine.
And the pass that you heard the Roosters fans go, ooh, because the pass from Guerra almost got knocked on by Orbison. Was a shocker. High bomb comes from Hastings, and Lola here. He's a good player. He takes it well, and then tries to get around a couple of defenders, but he in turn has taken it a good tackle by Elliott. But gee, Lola here. He's almost too good a player to play on the wing. I think that's the opinion of a lot of people.
Well, there's a little bit of Valentine Holmes about him, isn't it? I think he's a 5'8" personally, but he just can't crack that side. They've persevered with Jeff Robson. They're persevering with Sean Johnson playing 5'8", so we'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm sure he'll get a start in the halves as the year goes on.
Vadavai comes in to do the work of a big prop forward, and he does it as you'd expect very well. He runs it up to halfway. Luke out of dummy half, and again he's allowed to run a long way. The ball goes through the hands. It went to Charlie Gubb. Charlie Gubb goes without it. It's picked up on the bounce by Ferguson. He's sprinting away, but the referee's ruling a knock on both ways. Again, we saw the Warriors, bad hands from them, then bad hands as the Roosters tried to pick it up.
Geez, a great opportunity for the Warriors there because Charlie Gubb was on the outside of the defenders there. Again, it's on the Roosters' right side where they have had diabolical trouble all year with their defence. The ball was just in front of Gubb. He knocked it forward. It then knocked into Sean Kenny Dow's hand, who knocked it on, so it's a double knock on. Feed here to the Roosters, but once again they had an enormous overlap on their left side there, the Warriors. Surely that's where they've got to attack all day.
24 minutes gone on the first half, and on the Accor Hotel scoreboard, it's still 8 points to 4 in favour of the Roosters over the Warriors. But gee, the mistake rate is building here in this first half. Both sides guilty of squandering possession, and the crowd roaring for a high tackle here on Elliott. It's not going to be forthcoming. Ball fed now to Tokarau. He runs into Lillyman and Gubb. So the two fellas that have squandered possession the last couple of occasions, the Warriors have had the ball involved in that tackle. Ball played to Friend. The ball comes back now, and through the hands it comes away from Evans. It went to Guerra on it, went then to Orbison. Orbison's tackled 32 metres out from the Warriors line, eastern scrum line. They come back the open side then. Moa, lovely ball from Hastings as he got it away to Napa, but a good tackle from Gubb brings him down 22 metres out. Good footy all round there as they go to the left side. On the last play, here's Tokarau with a chance. He keeps it alive to Elliott, but the referee's found a forward pass.
Jeez, there was an opportunity there, no doubt. The ball from Tokarau on the outside to Elliott was a beauty. They had a 2-on-1. They were going to score, but the referees come in and seen a forward pass in that play. I'd imagine it was the pass from Hastings on the outside because he dummied the kick. Jeez, I don't know if there was too much in that. Definitely the pass from Tokarau was fine, but it must have been the one from Hastings he's ruled forward.
Well, that's the only one you could have won because the other one's it's gone back a mile, so to speak. And now the Warriors bring the ball back. And there's another loose ball, but luckily for the Warriors, Isaac Luke was there to pick it up because it went backwards. But both sides being guilty of making the same sort of mistakes. Ball played to Johnson. Johnson throws a pass to Madaleno, who was almost in front of the man throwing the pass.
Seen a lot of them this year.
Now they get a penalty. That's about the only way anyone's making ground in this match so far. A penalty. And the penalty is given away by Sam Moa. And so the Warriors will kick for touch on the eastern side and get a great opportunity to perhaps even level up here with 14 to go in the first half. The Accor Hotel scoreboard has the Roosters in front by 8 points to 4. The kick for touch from Johnston. Again, he doesn't lean on it. I mean, they find touch 30 metres out. Could have easily been 15 out if he'd really just decided to kick it a bit deeper. Yep. So they're going to take two plays to where they could have been starting the set. Easy to be critical here, though. Ball comes to Robson. Robson gets it on to Gubb, and Gubb takes it ahead strongly. He's tackled 18 metres out now from the Roosters line, almost in centre field. And in at dummy half is Luke. Luke gets it on Lillyman. He'd be pretty happy with catching that. He's tackled 10 metres out in the goal post, right in front of the post too, at the southern end of the field. Luke goes back to the left side now. It goes to Robson. Robson changes the point of the attack. They go back the right side through the hands of Johnson to Mannering. Mannering's brought down. Good tackle there. And it was made by Elliott and also Hastings. They go the short side to Johnson. Johnson can't get away from the defence. He's taken it a good defence over here on the left. He's going to play the ball about a metre or so out from the goal line. Last play comes down to Tavasashek. Away to Luke. On it goes to Robson. Robson to the line. He puts up the bomb. Here comes Big Vadavai. Who got the ball? I think it was knocked back by Vadavai. Picked up by Robson. Robson can't go any further, but it's knocked down by the Roosters, said the referee. It wasn't knocked back by Vadavai. Knocked on by the Roosters. 6 to go. And Hoffman goes on his own. He's very close to scoring. Here they go through Qatar. And Qatar scored as he got underneath them and scored. The referee's going upstairs. The centre Qatar thinks that he's got underneath the Roosters defenders and scored the second try for the New Zealand Warriors, and the referee agrees as we go to the Graham Annesley bunker. The bunker of bewilderment. What are we going to get this afternoon?
I think he scored. I got no doubt he scored. The secret to that was he got down very low. They had no chance of stopping him. Well, I don't think they've stopped him. I think it was Latrell Mitchell in front of him as Qatar got down extremely low, just powers his way over. I'm trying to see a head-on view of this. I must admit our TV here is not of the highest quality, but for mine, he's got that down. I'm just having a look on the top right here.
I think that Logie Baird actually made this television. Although Logie Baird, he made the first television.
What, him and Boo Boo?
I reckon this is one that was actually made by Logie Baird himself.
In Flintstone National Park. Love Logie Baird.
The television, it's probably the original colour television in 1974. There it goes as we get the Coates Hire bunker result. It's a try, and it's all level on the Accor Hotel scoreboard. 8 points apiece with 12 minutes to go in the first half. But gee, it's been one of those games, hasn't it, Darryl? Whoever holds the ball for a set of 6 just about scores. And again on the back of another two penalties in a row they got. Yeah. 2 penalties in a row, they score. That's the only way they seem to be able to complete a set of 6, these teams, get a penalty.
Well, David, I mean, you go to any game, I mean, it's always based on the opposition's mistakes. The other side gets the ball and they eventually score, but you just know today, well, you just feel that today there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. So, defence, well, should be of the premium, but at the moment it's not really it's not really an issue for both sides because neither of them are defending all that well. And in fact, neither of them are holding the ball all that well. So this could be anything.
Yeah, the defence is looking good at the moment because the opposition can't keep the ball to 6. Here's Johnson attempted conversion of the Qatar try, and he misses again. That's 2 misses. That one he should have kicked, Mark Riddell, I think. And that's not a difficult kick for a good goal kicker.
No, that certainly wasn't. And those 2 misses could come back later on in this match to haunt him. But I've got to say, isn't it nice to see someone just take the line on from dummy half?
Oh, yes.
In barge over fashion.
Did you get that low?
Yeah, but I couldn't get back up.
Yeah. But they were never going to stop him. I mean, the secret to that was he's a little pocket battleship. You get down that low, it's almost impossible to stop them.
Yeah,
I don't know why they don't do it more often.
That was Pig-like, though, wasn't it, Pig? You would have loved watching that.
Oh, I did. I really enjoyed it. Sometimes I think we try and finesse our way over the try line too often in rugby league when you just get down low and you can get there in the end. Well, Carter, he's got the build for it, doesn't he?
Here he is. He's built close to the ground and he's built like the proverbial brick outhouse. As Johnson has a crack at a 40-20 here, I don't think it needed a big off break to get to the sideline. In the end, it's picked up by Mitchell about half a metre in from the sideline. But it wasn't a bad kick, just needed about another half metre towards the sideline and he would have picked it off as Tupu goes for a gallop and he's tackled 12 short of the halfway. Tackled on the western scrum line and on the Accor Hotel scoreboard. 10.5 to go in the first half. It's all tied up. It's the Roosters 8, the Warriors 8 as we go round the grounds for paddysmarkets.com.au. Billy McGee.
Second half just underway at Pertex Stadium in the Holden Cup. Panthers 6, Eels 4.
Another handling error, Darryl, but luckily for the Roosters it went back.
Awful pass from Sam Murray. It's as if he's never passed. It's like he's throwing watermelons. I mean, it's a shocking pass. They've made a couple of changes, and I think one of them's good. I think Nikorima needs to get out there because I think they need a bit of spark around the middle of the ruck, the Roosters. He's out there, and so is Vunakatha. Is that right?
Vunakatha, isn't it?
Vunakatha, okay, whatever it is.
That's because Mark Levy said the second part of the name's a bit like as if you're flying to...
He's Levy's rubbishman.
No, a bit like, he's like as if you're flying to Hong Kong, Cathay Pacific. Here's Lola here getting on the outside of Elliott for a moment. Elliott's done well, Brendan Elliott. He let him get on the outside of him and then grabbed him by the Guernsey and said, you're going nowhere, pal. Oh, I tell you what, Mannering got to the line. He was going to take the tackle and then he threw a pass, but it's a penalty against the Roosters for being offside. Wow. Gee, this game, it's stop-start and both sides are making it.
Well, they've had all the ball the last 10 minutes, the Warriors, and they've managed to put a couple of tries on. So, once again, and a lot of it's the fault of the Roosters themselves. It's not as if, that they haven't just gifted the Warriors possession because they have. They've dropped balls. Their passing's diabolical. It's not good, Davey.
No, and even then, that bit of football from Mannering onto Luke, it was just It was like they hadn't met each other, the way that football came out. Anyway, Lillyman takes it. It's a great opportunity for the Warriors to go to the lead here. Haven't been in the lead all day. It's 8-all on the Accor Hotel scoreboard as Charlie Gubb takes it ahead, and Gubb's tackled 12 metres out from the Roosters line, southern end of the field. 8.5 to go in the first half. Oh, I thought there was a knock on at dummy half there. Ball goes to Robson. Robson to Hopman. Hopman burst between the defenders on that side of the field, but gee, it's a good tackle in the end that brings him down. Nicarima and Ferguson together. Ball goes to Robson. Robson to Madalino as he runs back to the centre and underneath the goalpost. Gets up and plays it quickly. No one seems to want to be the dummy half, so Isaac Luke says, come here. Lovely pass from Lillyman. Lillyman got it onto Johnson, and Johnson went through a great big hole, and Ferguson says, well, who was meant to be there? Well, in the end, Johnson said, well, if no one's going to tackle me, I'll score the Warriors' third try. You'll never see anything as easy as that, and Lillyman will say that was a magnificent skill that he learned off Shane Webke. Yeah, if you believe that, you believe in the Tooth Fairy. But he's going to take a try assist for it, and good luck to him.
Well, their defence on the fringe is out on that. I've said it before, the right side defence is hopeless from the Roosters. Absolutely diabolical. They didn't have enough numbers there. That was just so easy. It went Isaac Luke at dummy half. He threw it to the big front rower, Jacob Lillyman, who just sort of veered inwards, took a couple of defenders with him, then popped the ball on the outside to Sean Johnson, who ran through a massive gap. It was too easy. They've got to work out their defence. I'm not blaming Ferguson and Kenny Dow completely on that side, because the blokes on the inside are letting him down.
Nicarima was just gone on there, and he was the man on the inside. And well, that's who Ferguson, I think, was saying, what the are you doing?
Yeah. Well, they have got massive problems on their right defensively, and they have all year. And they're not going to win games unless they can fix it.
And here's Johnson virtually in front of the post. Opportunity to convert his own try. And the Accor Hotel scoreboard at the moment. Warriors 12 and the Roosters 8 after the Roosters led 8-0. There's the kick from Johnson and make it 14 points to 8 in favour of the Warriors over the Roosters as we go down to the sideline. And here's Mark Riddell. And I refer to Shane Webke because he threw a pass like that once late in his career. And he said, don't know where it came from, but I'll take it.
Yeah, it's a fair rap, isn't it? But it was nice vision, and all off the back of Ben Madalino, I think it was, with a quick play the ball. I know Isaac Luke took a little bit of time to get the dummy half, but he just caught the Roosters defenders all on their goal line, and then Nicarima made a snap decision, really, to come off the line, come into Lillyman, and created the space for Johnson on the outside.
On talk of Lillyman, here he is bringing the ball back, and he's 20 out from his own goal line. He's 15 metres in from touches. The ball's played to Ashford. On it goes to Mannering, and Mannering brings the ball about 30 metres out from his own goal line. He swings around, and one of the defenders out there, Boona Cathay, ball played. And again, it came on the back of a penalty down this end of the field. So many tries do come on the back of someone conceding a penalty. Ball's played, and it goes back to Isaac Luke. They go to the left again, and Hopman takes it back to the halfway line. He's 20 metres in from touch over on the eastern side of the field. Sunny afternoon here in Gosford. The Accor Hotel scoreboard. It's the Warriors in front, 14 points to 8 as the ball comes back to the left. Masterchek, lovely ball away to Lola here. Lola here's got a heap of pace. He also got a lovely grabber kick back on the inside, and Sean Johnson from nowhere gets a magnificent bounce and races through and scores under the black dot.
Well, he started it and he finished it, Sean Johnson. The ball on the outside was absolutely beautiful to Lola here. Put him into a huge gap. Tupu had to come in and try and take the centre. It just missed him, bypassed both of them. Went on the outside to Lola here. He had 1,000 players on his inside backing up. He just put the grabber kick across field, and it was beautiful. There was 3 or 4 Warriors players there who could have pounced on it, but the ball bounced beautifully for Johnson. Magnificent try. Went past 2 or 3 of the Warriors players. They basically just let it go. In the picture, there's about 5 Warriors players under the sticks. Not a Rooster in sight. Brilliant play from Sean Johnson, and also great stuff from Lola here as well. What a talented boy he is, Lola here, but Johnson just does it on his ear, puts it down, stands and says, how good's this?
Yeah, and Tuivasa-Sheck played a big role in that too. There's 2 magnificent passes involved in that try, but look, at the end of the day, who would have thought we'd see 2 magnificent tries, Cronulla's last night and one today, from the right winger putting in the old centre kick, because people were backing up on the inside, and the centre kicks were absolutely centimetre perfect on both occasions. Maloney scored last night, and Sean Johnson has scored today, and after being behind 8-0, it's about to be 20 points to 8 in favour of the Warriors, because Johnson, right in front of the sticks, will kick this into Brisbane waters as he kicks it high above the scoreboard. With 4 minutes to go in the first half, and the Accor Hotel scoreboard has the Warriors 20, leading the Roosters 8. And Mark Riddell, that was right in front of you how that unfolded.
No, it certainly was. I had a bird's eye view of that. It was beautiful to watch. I tell you what, that kick back inside, it's almost become a pet play for some sides now, and it's smart. You know, all the defenders are chasing across field, trying to shut the winger down. And then Lola here, isn't it handy having him on the wing? He's got a beautiful touch with his boot. He knew Johnson was back inside. Nice try to the Warriors.
A lower grade score for Shimano. New South Wales Cup, Wentworthville 26, Warriors 14. Around the grounds for paddysmarkets.com.au. Here's Billy McGee.
6 minutes into the second half in the Holden Cup. Penrith 12, Parramatta 4.
And we're closing it on half time. It's hard to believe when they took the penalty goal, the Roosters, that they put themselves in front 8-0. That if anyone had said to you that the next 20 points would be scored by the Warriors, you would have been certified. But that's what's happened here. Ball comes to Robson. Robson gets out the back here. Sean Johnson inside ball. That was a no-look inside pass meant for Tuivasa-Sheck. And if he'd got it, he might have been away. But he's knocked it on. And so the Roosters will get a scrum feed. 3 minutes to go in the first half, just inside the Warriors' territory.
Probably a play they'd do in the nines of the Warriors. I'm not sure if the coach McFadden would be all that happy with it playing in the big league in the 13-a-side game, because it was, as you said, it was a no-look pass back on the inside to Tuivasa-Sheck. Look, if he takes it and streaks downfield and scores, he's a genius. But that now gives the Roosters an opportunity to hit back before half-time. He's still got over 2.5 minutes to go. And once again, it's just on the back of possession. Tries are being scored. The Warriors have had all the ball in the last 10-15 minutes. The Roosters have hardly had it, but they keep dropping it.
That ball is taken ahead by Orbison, and he's tackled 35 metres out from the Warriors line. He's on the far side, the eastern side of the field, 10 metres in, as the ball's carted up now by the Roosters. They're about 30 metres out from the goalpost, northern end of the field. A long pass comes away to Hastings. Hastings to Nicarima, who's taken in a very solid tackle by Mannering. 20 metres out in the goal line. They keep it on the keep going to the left. It comes to Hastings. He dummied on the outside, and Hastings is hurt here. He's done a leg. There's something, well, I'll tell you what, he's done a leg, he's done an ankle or a knee. He really did. You could see the pain on his face as he was tackled there. Crossfield bomb from Friend. Going high, the ball's loose. And then Kenny Dowell at the second attempt, I think, got it and scored a try.
Of course we're going to go to the bunker. Whatever you do, don't make a decision, anyone.
Well, what a mistake that is now if they do decide that this is a try. The referee's going to rule he has a try as we're going to the Coates Hire video referee, courtesy of the bunker, the Graham Annesley bunker. And I dare say they're just going to check when the ball was in the air and the number of hands that were touching it. Yeah. Was it a knock on? Was it not?
Kick from Friend. Now, he got... Well, he had a checkered run to the ball here, Kenny Dowell, and did brilliantly in the end to get his hand. I think he's probably touched it into the air. I don't know if he's knocked it into a Warrior. Let's have a look here. This would show us a bit better here, Thirst.
Qatar and Vadavai and...
Well, just I don't know if he's even got his
hands.
I think
Vadavai might have knocked it. I think Vadavai might have knocked it backwards, and Kenny Dowell's got the dregs and scored, hasn't he?
Oh, no. It might have come off Kenny Dowell, but I think he might have second. I think it's come off Kenny Dowell second. Vadavai into Kenny Dowell, I reckon. Look, I think they award this. If he's got the ball down, I'm awarding this.
Well, see,
it's hard to tell from that angle whose hands that's in. Plus, this TV's crap.
Yeah, the TV that we're watching doesn't give us any idea.
It's like the one I used to have when I was about 8.
Yeah, that'd be about right.
The only difference is this one's colour.
Well, it looks like one of the original colour tellies, and colour telly came into Australia in March 1975.
What was that one that bloke who was on number 96 used to advertise?
Joe Hash.
Rank Arena. It's a Rank Arena, this one. Outrageous.
You know, there's so many hands in there. Kenny Dowell's touched it, but did he touch it into Vadavai? That's what they're looking at.
Well, that's why they've got the bunker. HD, they can see every little bit.
And they've probably got a heap of angles. This will be interesting. Is it a try to Kenny Dowell? Isn't it not a try? Mark Riddell, you've got a chance to have a look at the big screen, but I don't think that gives you any better view, does it?
Thirsty. I can't even tell. I can't even hardly see in the big screen. You blokes are complaining about that little TV, but the big screen's just as bad.
What they're now looking at is the put down, which would indicate to me that if the put down's okay, which I think there's no doubt it's okay, I think they'll award a try.
I think they will too, because we haven't got any sound from the bunker this afternoon, so we can't hear what they're discussing.
I can pretend I'm in the bunker.
And here it comes. It's a try to Kenny Dowell. Well, that came off the mistake in the centre of the field. Johnson's inside ball to Tuivasa-Sheck. And that's basically been the story of the game. One team makes a mistake, the other team scores a meat pie. And on the Accor Hotel scoreboard, it's now the Warriors 20 leading the Roosters 12. And who's going to have the shot at goal? Is Hastings okay? I think he is.
Yeah.
Of course, he was down injured when that kick went up. He went down, the trainer went out to see if he was okay with that ankle injury. 10 metres in from touch, 20 metres out. And we've still got, by the time he kicks this, it'll be half time, I reckon. So this is a pretty important kick in the context of the game. They could go in a converted try behind or 8 points behind.
Geez, he's in good form, Kenny Dowell, isn't he? Considering the issues he's had over the last, the stuff that's been on his mind for the last 12 months. He's played fantastic football this year.
He's been outstanding, hasn't he?
He's been, without doubt, their best player. Without a doubt.
Well, I think the Warriors...
He wasn't far off it last year either, to be honest with you.
The Warriors will probably continue to play this flamboyant football because it's what they do. And the Roosters will probably be told to tighten up in the second half. But here's Hastings with the ball placed, as I said, right on the apex of the 10-metre line in from touch and the 20-metre line across the field. And here he is. He kicked one from right out on the sideline earlier in the day. There's the kick from Hastings. It looks pretty good. It's another great kick. And so the scoreline on the Accor Hotel scoreboard is the Warriors 20, the Roosters 14. We've got about 20 seconds to go in the first half. It'll take more than that for the Warriors to get to the halfway line. So I don't think we'll see the action restart for the second half. Although now the referee's put his hands up for time off.
You know what? This really annoys me. There needs to be a rule in the game whether, sometimes they call time off, sometimes they don't. You can't have it both ways. I saw it yesterday when I think it was the Sharks. The Tigers scored a late try. The Sharks were coming back with about 30 seconds to go. They called time off. They got to do it every time. Every time. Not when it suits them.
Well, I agree with you, Darryl, because I've seen teams that take 30 seconds off the clock after a kick at goal, and there, because that kick took place with 23 seconds left on the clock. Now we'll hear the siren go in the background as the ball is fed back to the centre of the park and the Roosters are tackled 28 metres out in the goal line. Anyway, at half time, it's fair to say that the mistake rate's been high, and as a result of that, we've managed to see 6 tries scored in the first half. 4 of them, though, to the Warriors. Sean Johnson scored 2 tries. Qatar and Vatavai 1 each. Johnson 2 goals from 4 attempts, including one that he probably should have got. Sean Kenny Dowell has scored 2 tries for the Roosters, and Hastings 3 goals from 3 attempts. So at half time on the Accor Hotel scoreboard, it is the Warriors 20 leading the Roosters 14 as we pause for the half-time break, courtesy of Best Sheds. And here he is, Mark Levy.
Thank you, Thirsty. Thank you, Darryl, and thank you, Piggy, on the touchline. 20 points to 14, Warriors over the Roosters. We still have that other game to come, Parramatta and Penrith from Pertex Stadium. We'll head around the grounds for paddysmarkets.com.au after a break and preview all of the action with Billy McGee. Half-time here in Gosford, 20 points to 14, the Warriors leading the Roosters. We break, come back and look at the first half action thanks to Best Sheds. Double garages from $2,970. bestsheds.com.au, Warriors 20, Roosters 14. Yeah, 20 points to 14. Warriors leading the Roosters at half-time here at Central Coast Stadium in Gosford, the beautiful Central Coast of New South Wales. Before I get a comment from both Darryl and Piggy, let's head around the grounds for paddysmarkets.com.au and preview the other game this afternoon between Parramatta and Penrith. Billy McGee's in the interactive studio to cover this one for us. Billy, good afternoon to you once again.
Mark, a very good afternoon to you and everyone listening. Clear conditions at Pertex Stadium for this match between two Western Sydney rivals. Parramatta has made a great start to the year and is one of the form teams of the competition right now. The Eels have won their last 3, but are without Tim Manor for this afternoon's clash. Their prop forward has been ruled out due to a shoulder injury, a huge blow for Parramatta as the Panthers receive an almighty boost. Their skipper and star fullback Matt Moylan returns from injury to play his first game of the year. It's great timing for Penrith, who looked a little disjointed in attack in last week's loss to the Dragons. Team changes, well, as I mentioned, Tim Manor is out for the Eels. We're expecting Penny Terapo to start with David Gower coming onto the bench. The Panthers are expected to be 1-17. I'll confirm all of that in about 5 minutes' time, an hour before kickoff. The referees for this match, Grant Atkins and Alan Shortle. The touch judges, Jeff Eunice and Shane Ram. In the bunker, Bernard Sutton, and he's the senior official, Ben Galea and Jason Robinson advising him. In the Holden Cup, the Panthers lead the Eels 18-4, 23 minutes until full time in the Holden Cup. But the main game kicking off at 4 p.m. at Pertex Stadium between the Parramatta Eels and the Penrith Panthers.
Good on you, Billy. Thank you very much, mate. Perfect timing in time for your news commitments. Half-time here in Gosford, 20 points to 14, Warriors leading the Roosters. Darryl Broman, let's have a look at the first half action thanks to Best Sheds. Gee, the Roosters, they were their own worst enemy, probably lucky to get a few extra points late in that first half, but they're only 6 points in it, 20 points to 14. They're trailing the Warriors.
Yeah, they are, Mark, and the game's gone with possession, really, and mistakes. Both sides have made numerous amount of mistakes, but the Roosters more in the end. They, without doubt, had the best of it early in the competition or in the first half, but in the probably between the 20-minute mark and say the 35-minute mark, they had very little ball. They kept dropping the ball, and the Warriors punished them. They put 20 unanswered points on them, and Sean Johnson, the longer the half went, the more dangerous he looked. The hooker's playing good today, Isaac Luke. He's been a little quiet for them. He's pretty good last week, but today's been his best game, I think, in a Warriors shirt, and he's dictating things from the ruck. The Roosters have massive problems defensively on their right side. The side, and I'm not blaming Blake Ferguson here, but I think he's contributing to it. But on his side of the ruck, there have been try after try after try scored this year. They've got to work out a way of fixing that, otherwise they're just going to get lapped in every game they play.
20 points to 14, Warriors leading the Roosters. Luke, our executive producer's delivered Piggy a coffee, I noticed, maybe to prep him up for the second half. Piggy, how'd you see the first 40 here in Gosford?
Yeah, pretty similar to Darryl, I think. But the Warriors, I think the Roosters have sort of let them play themselves back into some form. Now, those men that Darryl mentioned, he's right. Isaac Luke, he's getting out of dummy half and attacking in and around the ruck area a lot more today. Sean Johnson, he's getting himself a lot more involved, whether it's supporting up through the middle of the ruck or around the big men. I think the Roosters are really letting this Warriors side play themselves into form. You got to remember, and I know it's only 20 points to 14, but the Roosters' 2 tries came from 2 kicks. Other than that, they haven't really tested this Warriors defence. They haven't thrown much at them at all. So, I still think the Warriors, if they can hold the footy, get their fair share against this Roosters side, that they'll be too strong this afternoon.
As a former hooker yourself, Piggy, you'd be impressed with Isaac Luke. He's had a bit of a slow start, but today he's looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pressure on him, doesn't he? He's obviously been one of the big signings for the Warriors. And you almost, when you're that big a player and you've got that much pressure on you, people just expect you to play very, very well every week, and he hasn't been doing that. Today, I think he's got a lot better. He's looked really sharp out of dummy half. He's been a handful in and around that ruck for the Roosters defenders, and they're going to need him. The Warriors are going to need him to do that again in this second half.
Darryl, it's hard to pick out standouts for the Roosters, but we were talking off-air in that commercial break about Sean Kenny-Dow. Now, he's probably been one of the standouts in a side that hasn't been playing good football to start 2016.
Without a doubt, he's their best player. He gets in there. He hasn't done it a lot today because they haven't had a lot of ball. He hasn't had opportunity to do it. But he gets in there and takes pressure off the forwards with his runs. He scored 2 tries today, admittedly both from kicks, but he's been in position to do it. It's not easy to do that. He's been fantastic for them. I thought Blake Ferguson looked good for a while there too, but it's really hard to get a handle on who's playing well for the Roosters because they keep dropping the ball. But some of the passing, I saw Sam Moa throw a ball, seriously. It was an awful pass. It hit the deck about a metre after he threw it and dribbled along the ground. I mean, there's blokes out there. I think there's some guys out there, and I know they're missing a lot of players. We all know that. They've got half a dozen of their best players out of this team. But there's some players out there in the front row in particular who are trying to be a little bit of ball playing in them, and I don't think they're capable of it. And I think it's Narpa's one of them. I think Kane Evans is sort of running to the line throwing a second man ball, but the balls aren't hitting the mark. They're hitting a bloke like half a metre behind him, and it's just stifling their attack. I think they're better off putting their head down and bums up and just going forwards, those blokes.
20 points to 14, Warriors over the Roosters. Couple of emailers via 2gb.com and 4bc.com.au calling on you, big man, to get the bloke who's got the drum ejected. He's been very distracting in the first half.
The children are yelling out in my little buddy ears down the sideline too. Piggy down there, he sounds like he's being hounded by the fans down there. There's voices going everywhere.
Well, speaking of being hammered by the fans, I just want to play you a piece of audio, Pig. We might flick him on for his reaction when he hears this.
Me?
Ricardo, back in the studio, just play some of Piggy's goal from the first half, would you?
And Mark Riddell, that was right in front of you where that unfolded.
No, it certainly was. I had a bird's eye view of that, and it was beautiful to watch.
Piggy, do you know what a bird's eye view means?
No, what's that?
A bird eye view means you're above the field of play.
Oh, I just thought bird's eye view means
David,
perfect view of it, doesn't it?
You're the number one orator here. I don't have a problem with that.
You've been carved up by the emailers and the listeners.
Oh, please.
David.
Well,
Get a life, listeners.
I took, you don't like it, change the channel.
I took
Darryl.
I took it as Piggy saying he had a very good view of it, and that's a good way to describe it.
So are you backing our man up?
I am backing our man up.
Thanks,
Me
Thirsty.
too. I think that
Get that up here, Tom.
I heard.
Your man, Tom Easton.
I heard it, and I thought it was a good play on words to describe where Piggy was in relation to the play.
Thank you, Piggy. I'm backing you up as well, but just when you get a mountain of emails that come through about it, I feel the need to play it to the listeners. But you know we love you down there on the touchline. How's that coffee? All right? You're looking wonderful down there, beautiful. 20 points to 14, Warriors leading the Roosters. We'll take a break and come back with the second half action here in Gosford. Yeah, good atmosphere up here on the central coast of New South Wales. Central Coast Stadium in Gosford, where the sun is shining. A few scattered clouds around, but a nice day at the football. 20 points to 14, Warriors leading the Roosters. In about an hour's time, we'll have Parramatta and Penrith doing battle at Pertex Stadium. We'll have score updates courtesy of Billy McGee for paddysmarkets.com.au. Back downstairs to Piggy Riddell. He's had a chat with a few of the officials from both sides to find out what was said at half-time. Piggy, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Look, first of all, for the Roosters, Coach Trent Robbins, he was really disappointed with the effort that his side showed in that first half. Poor completion rate, too many errors, and poor discipline. So he wanted them to rectify that. He thought if they could rectify that, they get themselves right back in this contest. For the more of the same for the Warriors, Coach Andrew McFadden, he was quite happy with his side. He thought if we continue to build pressure on this Roosters side, the points would come. They just didn't want him to force their hand. He thought a couple of times there they created some opportunities and they forced the pass. And they can't afford to do that. They've got to keep the pressure on this Roosters side.
All right, Piggy, thank you. The Warriors take up position at the southern end of the ground. It'll be the Roosters to get us underway for the second half. It's Warriors 20, Roosters 14. Here's David Morrow for his call of the second half action here in Gosford.
And the two teams are out on the park, and we're going to see, an interesting second half. And you just pointed something out, Darryl. I hadn't really had a look, but they've only used one interchange so far, the Warriors.
Yeah, it looks like it. I can't recall Jazz Tavaga being out there. Lasoni hasn't been there, and Conrad Harrell certainly hasn't been out there. So they've only used Charlie Gubb, who's been quite good for them, I must say. And whereas the Roosters, on the other hand, I think have used every one of their four.
I haven't seen Mitchell Fry out there.
No, he was out there late.
Was he? Oh, well, yeah. There you go. That means they've used all of those, and they're only allowed 8 interchange. So
he's out there now, actually, Fry.
Oh, well, there we are. So it'll be interesting to see if McFadden rings the changes in this second half. As we see the Warriors have first use of the ball and Mannering goes for a run. And I suppose while they're winning, Darryl, he doesn't need to make any changes. They're doing the job. But,
exactly. I mean, he's obviously got confidence in the numbers and the players he's got out there, and they're all handling it okay. The big forwards, they're going well, aren't they? They've just got to control the ball. If they control the ball, they win.
Ball comes to this side of the field. This bloke's been strong, hasn't he? Hoffman. Oh, well, he always is. Gets the ball to the halfway line. He plays the ball 20 metres in from touch. It goes to Luke, and Luke opposite up to Tuivasa-Sheck, and he tries to get round Verna Cathay. He's tackled about 45 metres out in the goal line. They go back to the right. Last play. Up goes the kick from Johnson. It's coming down to Tupu. Tupu goes high, takes it well. Good take, good tackle, and he'll play it 15 out from his own goal line. 10 in from touch. Gee, I'll tell you what, he almost knocked that on as he played the ball. He tried it. He got away with it. Let's put it this way. I think he might have just slightly lost control of it on the way down, but he regathered, and Kenny Dow making another good run takes a bit of pressure off his forwards back to within 15 of the halfway. Ball comes to Guerra, and Guerra's going to be tackled. And in fact, this is Fry. Fry's tackled. And no wonder I haven't seen him before.
He does look like Guerra, doesn't he?
I just realised just how much he does look like him with the socks around his ankles, and he does look like him. Ball played. The ball comes back to the right. It goes to Hastings, and Hastings puts it high in the air. And look at Ferguson, and also Verna Cathay coming through, and coming up also with a good catch there is the fullback Tuivasa-Sheck as the ball goes to the left. And Vadawai goes for a run. He got it away to Qatar. Qatar got away from one defender. He's still going, and then from behind he's tackled about 5 metres short of the halfway. Ferguson did well to catch up with him. Ball goes away to Hopman. Hopman on to Robson. On it comes to Lillyman. Lillyman, he hasn't had a break yet, this bloke. Gee, I tell you what, he's played strongly. He's tackled 5 short of the halfway, 15 in from touch. Here comes Vadavai again, and the Beast takes it inside the opposition's half. He's tackled about 6 metres inside the Roosters' territory. Played to Isaac Luke. He darts out a dummy half. He goes for a run. He gets away from Guerra initially. Now he comes again, and he throws a pass at the last moment that finds Madalino. Madalino comes down the centre of the park to be tackled, 32 metres out from the Chooks line. Last play coming up for the Warriors. It goes to Johnson on the right. He goes back to the left to Robson. Robson gets it away then. Through the hands it goes to Vadavai. Vadavai on the last play. He gets a pass away to Johnson. It's a shocking pass. Picked up then by Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Not sure that he didn't knock it on. He puts up a bomb. It's picked up by Tupu, and Tupu runs back and then stands and delivers a ball to Latrell Mitchell, and Mitchell's going to be playing it 20 metres out from his own goal post at the northern end of the field. We've had 3 minutes play in the second half. No change to the half-time scoreboard. And on the Accor Hotels scoreboard, it's the Warriors 20, the Roosters 14.
I reckon he did knock it on. Geez, that was a sloppy set there from the Warriors. It was all right. Then they got to the last tackle. Then they threw it around. Got a penalty here, the Roosters, and didn't they need it? Easy way out of their own territory there. But I've got to say, I thought that was an awful ending to that set of 6 from the Warriors. They just threw it anywhere. Tuivasa-Sheck did knock it on. They didn't pick it up. Kicked it downfield, but they've got out of trouble here, the Roosters. Now they're on the attack. They may well level this in the next few minutes.
Here comes the big fella, and that's Evans, and Evans is tackled. He's around about 30 metres out from the goal line, about 15 metres in from touch as the ball's played. In fact, it's Toker Howe still out there. Here comes Vunicath, and Vunicath, they run the same way, those fellas, don't they? They're long and they're lean. That's Evans and Toker Howe. Ball comes to Guerra. Guerra takes it ahead strongly. He's tackled 15 metres out. They're running hard onto the ball at the moment. The Roosters, his friend darts out of dummy half. He bursts across field and then he straightens up and he's tackled. He's about 9 metres out now from the Warriors line. Vunicath in at dummy half. He gets the pass away to Hastings. Hastings short ball then to Toker Howe. He's taken. The ball basically got to him in the hit line. Good tackle there from Mannering. Ball comes away to Friend and Friend onto Hastings. Hastings runs the line, puts a grubber kick in. The ball in the end. It's a fairly patient Warriors side that in the end allowed it to keep bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. Not much urgency for the Roosters chase team then, and as a result the ball was in the in-goal area for seemingly an eternity before it finally went dead, and they've got a 7 tackle set from their own 20-metre line.
Well, it nearly started bouncing parallel to the dead ball line there, that ball, but it just wasn't enough urgency from the Roosters chasers there. No desperation. They were prepared to run through there, and no one. I mean, you'd see sides with a player zooming through there and diving to try and put that ball down. Not the Roosters. They're prepared just to hang back and wait for it, basically.
Well, here's Lasoni. He's finally gone out there and pigged that smacked of 2 teams that don't know how to win again.
Yeah, it was disappointing, wasn't it? It was a poor chase on the last play, and it looked like they knew the kick was on. Hastings threading the ball into the end goal, but I thought it was really good work from Ryan Hoffman just to let it go over the dead ball line.
Now they move the ball to the left side. Here's Qatar, and Qatar's taken it. A great tackle by Ferguson when he got on the outside of him. I thought he was going to be able to draw the man and put Vadavai in the corner. It didn't happen. Ball comes back to Johnson. Away it goes to Madalino. Madalino through the hands of Isaac Luke. It's a shocking ball that goes out to Ashford, and Ashford knocks the ball on.
Oh, I didn't think it was that bad. I think he's entitled to take that, Blake Ashford. It was a ball from the hooker, Isaac Luke. It was a cutout ball. He had a 2-on-1 there, Blake Ashford. I reckon he might have had a bit of a Bo Peep in front of him here, and he's dropped it. There was only Tupu in front of him, and he still had Lola here on his outside. It was a great opportunity for the Warriors. Geez, they might come back and look at that and think, gee whiz, what are we doing?
Well, I think in the end he's actually admitted himself that it was a ball he should have taken. As Tupu almost breaks through off the back of the scrum. He's tackled 30 metres out from his own line. They come back to the right to Nicarima. A cut-out ball finds Ferguson, who's upended in a great tackle by Qatar. The referee having a look at it to think, and Ferguson gets up.
Went over the horizontal.
Well,
doubt he went over the horizontal.
Well, I looked at the referee, and the referee looked at the other referee, and they looked at the touchy, and Ferguson got up grinning. And in the end, there was no penalty. Ball fed now. Away it goes to this fella, Mitchell Fry, and he's tackled on the halfway line, right in the centre of the field. Played it to Friend. Friend comes back now to Vunicath. Vunicath, the Garbo, is tackled 41 metres out now from the Warriors line. Comes back to the right. Comes to Hastings. Hastings goes forever. Now puts up a high bomb. Who's going to come to the ball? Oh, it's knocked down for mine by Kenny Dowell, and then knocked back. What are we going to have? We're going to have a knock on yet. It had to be knocked on by the Roosters initially. I'm certain Kenny Dowell knocked it on. Then it was knocked on by the Warriors. Then it was picked up by the Roosters, who thought there might be 6 to go. But I had no doubts. And Mark Riddell, you had a bird's eye view of that.
I certainly did. I think that Matt Chechen, the referee, I think he got it exactly right. He was just waiting to see where that ball ended up before he made his decision, but he got the right call.
Anyway, it is. It's been the same though, Darryl, again. It's a half of football where both sides are basically inviting the opposition to have a crack at them. They're making mistakes.
Well, so I reckon there was a forward pass there from Dummy. But you know what, I'm just looking down here. I'm a wrap on Conrad Horrell. I think he's a good player. I mean, how's this help? I know they've got to win a game of football here, and I know he probably doesn't think he should be in the side, but how's this helping him with his conditioning, sitting on the bench, getting splinters?
Well, not at the
play
moment.
him in the seconds if he got to, but give him some game time.
Now a great run from Isaac Luke, and now it goes to Robson. Robson throws the dummy, but the referees ruled there was an obstruction.
Obstruction! There's a player who went out of play too. One of the Roosters boys was taken down. It must have been because I don't think Jeff Robson's been in the gap that big forever.
Well, Isaac Luke again though made a big break down the centre of the park. Yeah, Charlie Gubb's gone straight through and run straight over the top of a Rooster. I think it might have been Orbison. He ran straight over the top of him, took him clean out. So that the decision, he didn't even need the help of the coach high bunker people that time, did he? The video referee.
Would you like to be a coach, Davey? Imagine coaching the Warriors.
Imagine. Well, that's true. When you know they've got so much talent there, but they waste so much of it on the field.
He might give himself the sack one day, Andrew McFadden.
I tell you what, you'd need to take a lot of tablets, I reckon. Oh, dear.
They don't fix everything, Davey.
No, I know. Yeah, anyway.
Except gout. Help gout.
They certainly help gout when you get it. Tell you now, here goes Fry. Fry takes it ahead, and Fry is smothered by the defence. He's about 8 metres out from the Warriors line. Opportunity here for the Roosters to level it up on the Accor Hotel scoreboard at the moment. No change to that half-time score as the ball comes away then to Ferguson. Flying it up the wing is Vadavai. Vadavai misses Ferguson at the first assignment, but then they come again and they put him down, and Robson, good tackle, a try-saver. 8 metres out in the goal line. A shocking pass from dummy half. Picked up by Orbison. Orbison won't keep it alive. It's the last play. Orbison, I'm not sure whether he knew it was the last play, but he was put under enormous pressure by a shocking pass out of dummy half. And really, you've got to thank Robson there for a great tackle. The Core Hotel scoreboard still the same as half-time. Warriors 20, Roosters 14. 10 minutes gone in the second half. But again, looked promising, Darryl, but they couldn't complete it.
Well, David, I mean, that just shows you why they're running last in the competition. The pass from dummy half, and it was from Kenny Dowell, who's one of their best. I'm sure it was Kenny Dowell. Was an absolute Barry Crocker. It was a shocking ball. There's nothing he could do about that, Orbison. He just picked it up and he had players all around him. I mean, these two sides are now showing us in the opening stages of this second half why they're in the position they're in this table.
Now bringing the ball back, Lola here. He does look like a player who shouldn't be playing on the wing. He's got too much ability. And then now they bring the ball up. Is that Lasoni? I think it is. DeVarga's out there too, I might add. That's him at dummy half. Ball comes away to Robson. Robson runs to the line. He puts a grubber kick in. Mitchell gets a good sit. A ball really sat up well for him. A different bounce for Mitchell. He might have been under pressure. And then a bad bit of football from the Warriors. They've got the Roosters pinned down 12 out in their own goal line. What do? They just a little push. A little second tackle against Mitchell. Penalty to the Roosters. Both these sides guilty of the same things. Absolute stupidity.
Good play from Carter there. He knew, not Carter, I should say Mitchell, the fullback. He knew that Carter was there in the ruck. He got to his feet extremely quickly. Carter was still holding his leg. There's nothing the referee could do but penalise him. Let's see if the Roosters can get through a set here and do something.
See, Jeff Robson was the one that pushed him down there, Pig. I mean, if you're a coach, you just say, what was going through your head?
Oh, exactly right. And it's what we've spoken about all game, though, boys. No side's got the ability to build pressure on the opposition. You know, whether they put in a nice kick, they always undo the good work with a penalty that just takes the pressure off the opposition.
Good run from Guerra. Comes to an end 29 metres out in the Warriors line. Ball comes back to the right. Nicarima has a run on his own. He gets it back to Friend. They go back to the left side. And Mitchell comes zooming out of the line to grab the ball. He got a one-armer away to Hastings. Hastings going for the line. He gets it back on the left-hand side. They go close to scoring. I think they will score. I think it's the big fella, Tokarau, who's reached out and scored. He got to the line and scores, but put that down to a great run from Mitchell and great support play from the Roosters on the Accor Hotel scoreboard. It's the Warriors 20, the Roosters 18.
Yeah, great try that to the Roosters. That is a really good try. Started by Jaden Nicarima, as you said, but Latrell Mitchell did brilliantly. Ran into a bit of a gap, put a bit of footwork on. Originally it came from Jaden Nicarima. He gave it back to Latrell Mitchell, who got it. He stepped, then he just did an around the corner sort of ball really to Hastings, gave it to Tokarau, and he just powered over the line. Great try. They're going to be square here. How are they square? How's it 20-all? They played that badly.
Well, it's 20-all, Pig, because the defence isn't as good as the attack, or the attack. I don't know how to describe it.
It's 20-all because neither team can take control, really. They keep letting each other back in the contest. Just quickly, Isaac Luke, he's over just in front of me. He's having the doctor check him out. I think he may have copped a decent poke in the eye. He doesn't look good at all for the New Zealand Warriors.
Well, he has trouble opening his eyes at the best of times, Isaac Luke. Looks like he's asleep when you're interviewing him.
Here's Conrad Harrell, your man. He's about to come on.
Get him on there, Connie boy.
And Tavaga's been out there at dummy half. But Luke, I'll tell you what, it'd be a big loss in the context of this game. He's been playing outstanding football. 20 metres in from touch where Hastings is taking this kick. And
one of your best, buddy.
It's going to be 20 all on the Accor Hotel scoreboard if Hastings is successful with this kick. And what a strange game of football. First 8 points to the Roosters, next 20 points to the Warriors. And then we're going to see 12 points in succession go the way of the Roosters if he kicks this. Which is a bit like the West Tigers Cronulla game last night. Here comes Hastings. There's the kick. He converts the try. And on the Accor Hotel scoreboard, 27 to go in the game. It's all tied up. It's the Roosters 20, the Warriors 20, as we go round the grounds for paddysmarkets.com.au. Billy McGee.
Full time in the Holden Cup, and the Panthers have smashed the Eels 42 points to 4. Team changes for first grade Parramatta. No Tim Manor, as we knew. David Gow replaces him in the starting side in jersey 18. For Penrith, Sui Matangi is off the bench, and Jerry Lattimore replaces him in jersey 21.
Who's the bloke out there with the thing around his nose, Thirsty?
Sorry, where?
Playing for the Warriors. It must be Tavaga, I reckon.
That's Tavaga, yeah. He looks like he should have Silence of the Lambs. Is that the movie?
Straight out of Star Wars.
Anyway, he's going to be involved in this tackle on Ferguson as they bring the ball back. The Roosters after the restart. They've got it 28 metres out. But the game continues to go. If a side gets to the last tackle, they're a chance of scoring a try. That's basically it. Or if they get a penalty in the set, they get that. That's about the only way teams have scored here today. As a long pass comes to Orbison. Orbison goes straight through. Ferguson's going to try and back him up. Back on the inside. I don't think Orbison won't need any help. Orbison wrong puts the ball. Went into a yawning hole and races 70 metres and scores in the right corner.
What a try there from Mitch Orbison. Ran into a yawning gap. There was a ball on the outside from Kane Evans, who I was critical of before, but he got the ball and threw a beautiful ball to Orbison. Ran into a yawning gap. Now the fullback Tuivasa-Sheck, he gave him too much space. He played a lot of football with this bloke, but he's given him way too much space. He was backing off, and in the end, he just put the foot to the floor and just ran around him and scored in the corner. A brilliant individual try to Mitch Orbison. The Roosters are in front. Can you believe it?
You can't believe it. They're in front on the Accor Hotel scoreboard, 24-20 with a kick to come. Well, I'll tell you what, Mitch Orbison will know how quick Tuivasa-Sheck is and said, I know I've got him covered here, but he had Ferguson coming up on one side. I think Mitchell might have been backing up on down the middle.
Yep.
And I thought, I was looking to say, now who's he going to run to? And then all of a sudden you realise he seemed to find fourth gear. And again, a man who saw all of that unfold in front of him was Mark Riddell. You were wondering who he was going to pass the ball to, and in the end he didn't need to.
Yeah, exactly right. Obviously, Tuivasa-Sheck, he was backing off, trying to buy some time for his defenders to come and give him some help. Mitch Orbison, he knew that. He just kept coming at Tuivasa-Sheck. And then, as you said, boys, well, he's a former centre, isn't he? He plays in the centre sometimes when he has to fill in. He just took Tuivasa-Sheck on. Too much pace for him in the end, and a beautiful individual try to Mitchell Orbison.
And Hastings right out on this western touchline. He's about a metre in from touch, 20.5 metres out. Opportunity to kick them 6 clear. Can you believe this game, though? 8 unanswered points to the Roosters to start the game. 20 unanswered points then from the Warriors. And what are we going to have now? 6? We're going to have 18 unanswered points if he kicks this goal for the Roosters.
Once again, just possession, David. I mean, it's just possession. The Roosters have had all the ball, all the momentum here in the second half, and they're doing things with it. The Warriors, dear me.
Well, that's the point is, though, the Warriors get a run at possession.
They can.
And they'll win the game. Yeah. I mean, it's that sort of game. 24.5 to go in the game. Hastings from out here on this western touchline. Probably equal to the kick he had to start the game, which he put straight over the black dot to convert the first Kenny Dowell try. Here he comes. There's the kick. It looks pretty good. Another magnificent strike from Hastings. A difficult goal, but he put it straight over the black dot again. His goal kicking has been superb this afternoon. 24.5 minutes to go in the game, and the Accor Hotel scoreboard reads Roosters 26, Warriors 20. And I think that's a good opportunity to go round the grounds for paddy'smarkets.com.au, because King Roost will be pretty happy. Tell us what's happening out at Pertex Stadium, Billy.
Well, Thursday it's full time in the Holden Cup. Panthers 42, Eels 4. And in the first grade, no Tim Manor for Parramatta, replaced by David Gower in 18. Penrith, Sui Matangi drops off the bench. Jeremy Lattimore comes in 21.
Well,
that'll do me. That will do me.
I won't tell Billy what happened. Well, I can tell you this much, Billy. The game's going to restart now with a line dropout from underneath the northern goalpost, because the kick-off to Dylan Napa, he's knocked it on and then knocked it on again.
You know what he was trying to do? Put his foot over the dead ball line. The only problem was, Dylan, the ball bounced 5 metres in front of it. He's trying to get a free kick in the halfway line from the ball going dead, but he misjudged it, and in the end he just made an absolute meal of it. Now they're under pressure.
He thought he was Inspector Gadget with 15 feet long legs. I mean, honestly. Honestly, you had to see it to believe it.
Here comes Connie.
Conrad Hurrell is on the field, and on Hurrell. Hello, Hurrell. He's taken it straight up, and he's tackled 30 metres out on the goal line. Look at the smile on his face. He's happy to be out there as the ball's taken ahead by Lasoni. Well, this is where the Warriors get their chance to draw level again on the back of the Napa mistake. And here they come, the Warriors, in a dummy half. It goes to Isaac Luke. He darts out a dummy half. He throws the ball to Robson. Robson to Tuivasa-Sheck. Short ball to Qatar. Qatar for the line, rolls over and scores. It's a try to the Warriors, almost too easy, as he got the ball and he just said, I'm going to run straight over the top of you. His real nickname is Mac Truck. Well, that's what he resembled then, as he got into the in-goal area. If Conrad Hurrell can do it on one side of the field, I'll show you how to do it on this side of the field. Oh. And as the game continues, whoever's got the ball scores if they get into the money end of the field. The Roosters on the Accor Hotel scoreboard lead 26-24 with a kick at goal to come, and Dylan Knapp is probably saying, well, I know what he's probably saying, but it's basically words that we can't use on radio.
Well, I know I sound like a broken record here, but seriously, any side who plays the Roosters, if you're not attacking their right side defence, you are cuckoo, because they have no idea. Absolutely no idea defensively, the Roosters on their right side. There was an overlap there. Ferguson just couldn't get to Carter. Carter got on the outside easily of Ferguson, and then he just had to do is pin his ears back, because he's a pocket battleship, isn't he? He's just a built like Conrad Hurrell, and he just went over the top of them and planted it down. Again, on the back of it, an abysmal mistake from the kickoff. After going to lead, fighting their way back into it, the Roosters, well, they might be even after this kick, but they might well still be in front. But oh dear, that's an awful bit of defence from the Roosters.
Well, here's Johnson. He's 8 metres in from touch. And Hastings' goal kickings at the moment, the difference between the two teams, really. They've scored 5 tries to 4 so far, the Warriors, but they're still trailing on the scoreboard. They may not be after this kick from Johnston. The Accor Hotel scoreboard. There's the kick from Johnston. It's all levelled up. There's the kick, and he converts the try scored by Solomon Qatar. And here on the Accor Hotel scoreboard, Roosters 26, Warriors 26, 21 and a half to go in the game. And Mark Riddell, it is that sort of game, isn't it? Whoever's got the ball, your turn to score.
Exactly right. Any other game, I think, and you'd just be shocked at what Dylan Napa tried to do, but in this situation and today, this afternoon, and how we've seen the game unfold, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Both these sides are their own worst enemies. We see Conrad Hurrell. Oh my goodness.
He's dropped the ball.
This is unbelievable.
He's dropped the ball from the kick-off, but at least he'd run it 22 metres out, unlike Dylan Napa. But again, what we're seeing here, Piggy and Darryl, is both sides are inviting the opposition back into the game because they just basically don't know how to win it.
Look, if you want to show anyone how not to play rugby league, this wouldn't be a bad game to show them.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I think Conrad Hurrell's got a case here. I think the ball was knocked out of his hands. There is a case that it was a loose carry, but the defender from behind of him did actually knock the ball out of his arm. But it was in the process of making a tackle. So
let's see what happens here. You'd almost think the Roosters will score again here. This is just tit for tat.
Well, you'd have to back him in, wouldn't you? Here you go. Oh, there's a tackle over the horizontal. Penalty to the Roosters. 20 metres out. They're coming in. Here come the handbags. Look at them flying over the top. Gee, watch out, Piggy. You're going to get one. Here's another handbag. Pushing and shoving.
Piggy might be able to grab some more perfume.
What, flying out of the handbag? Yes. Oh dear, for those that came in late, we had a discussion for about 2 hours on perfumes and 80 colognes and men's aftershave earlier today.
You know what? I didn't see a great deal of difference to this one to the one we saw previously. I think he definitely went over the horizontal before. Definitely over the horizontal there. Carter on Ferguson. And once again, they're having a battle, aren't they, these two blokes? I think Carter's possibly got the better of him, given the fact he scored 2 tries today.
Now, just hearing,
we don't have any audio of this, so let's just hear what he said. He said, he's called the captain. He said, Ryan, this bloke's got a few issues defensively. Fix it.
Yeah. Penalty to the Roosters, and Hastings going to have a shot at goal, which is what they did earlier in the game to take a 2-point. Well, it made it an 8-point lead.
It's been a try-a-thon. Every time someone gets up in their area, they score a try. Why are they taking the 2?
Well, I would think here, Darryl, if you were out there at the moment and said to the Warriors, what would you like the Roosters to do if in this situation it would be have a shot at penalty goal? It's only 2 points. And then the context of the game, they're not going to win this game 28-26, in my opinion.
There's still 19 and a half minutes to go. By the time he kicks this, will probably be about 18 and a half minutes to go. But
that's time
on the 4 more tries in this game.
And you know, anyway, we're not the coach, we're not the captain, but we were.
But we are very smart.
Yeah, and I would have thought that the idea, in the way this game has gone, it's going to be. Yeah, you're right. 4 or 5 more tries in this game, so kicking a penalty goal. And yet, at the end of the day, it'll finish up being a 2-point victory to the Roosters. And they'll say, have a look at this.
Yeah. Whereas it's probably going to be a 6-point victory.
Well, even a 4-point victory. Yeah. The 2 penalty goals being the difference. There he is. He's on the. He's 10 metres in from touch. He's 20.5 metres out. The way he's kicked today, this will go straight over the black dot. He has been superb this afternoon. There's Jackson Hastings with his goal kicking, and here's another opportunity to put the Roosters back in front on the Accor Hotel scoreboard. It's all tied up at 26 apiece at the moment as Hoffman does some stretching. There's the kick, and would you believe the commentator's curse has worked? I don't believe it.
It might help him. It's come off the upright, and Jake Friend's got the ball. They're 10 metres out. They got a full set of 6. This is what they should have done in the first place.
Anyway, so that might have been a special play. Hit the goalpost, miss the goal, and then get a set of 6. They're 10 metres out. Roosters with the opportunity. We saw it yesterday that the defending side couldn't catch the ball. Tokarau almost goes all the way. He's not far away quickly. Gets up and plays the ball, and charging onto the ball and coming hard onto the ball is Kane Evans. He's tackled a metre or so out from the goal line. He's lost the ball, but it's a penalty for a strip. It's a penalty for a strip.
Well, what do they do here? I mean, they're going to take the 2.
They're going to have another shot at 2. That's what happened yesterday, you remember, in the West Tigers Cronulla game. A ball, the Cronulla side had the shot at the penalty goal. Maloney hit the uprights, bounced back in the field of play. Woods got an unlucky bounce. And then they conceded the penalty in the very next play or 2 plays later, and then Maloney got the shot at penalty goal from in front of the sticks and kicked it. This is almost a mirror image, almost totally the same sort of circumstances. And now Hastings gets another opportunity to put them 2 in front.
Well,
and there'll be 16.5 minutes to go when the goal kicked or successful, if that's the case.
You wouldn't think he'd be missing this based on what he's done today. He's only missed the 1. And he's been hitting him beautifully, but that last one just faded away, hit the upright. They got it back. They got a penalty from it. Great run from Toka Hour. He nearly went straight through the middle of them, got up and played the ball quickly, and then Kane Evans zoomed onto it, but they were judged to have been offside, the Warriors. So I know that the captain's having a few issues here with the referee. Ryan Hoffman's gone up to him on 3 or 4 occasions in the second half, just questioning what's going on here. But if they do lose this, the Warriors, whichever side loses this game, will be filthy on themselves.
Yeah, well, they know why they've lost it. They just made more errors than the opposition. Here's Hastings moving in, virtually in front of the sticks. This time he kicks it, and it's 2 points to the Roosters, so 16.5 to go. And on the scoreboard, brought to you by Accor Hotels. The Roosters 28 lead the Warriors 26. As we go round the grounds for paddysmarkets.com.au, Billy McGee.
Full time in the Holden Cup, Panthers 42, Eels 4 in the first grade. No Tim Manor for Parramatta, replaced by David Gowra in jersey 18. For Penrith, no Sui Matangi. Jeremy Lattimore comes onto the bench in 21.
Oh, dear. Latrell Mitchell tried his insides to knock that on. He finished up taking it quite superbly.
But one-handed in the end.
He basically put one hand up to stop it, then caught it, and how easy that could have been. Another knock on in the in-goal area to restart the action, but the Roosters have got it as they run the ball out through Guerra, and he's going to play the ball 15 metres out from his own goalpost. About 16 minutes to go in the game. The Accor Hotel scoreboard reads Roosters 28, Warriors 26, as the Roosters ruck it out from their own end through Dylan Napa. He'll play the ball about 29 metres out from the post. He plays it to Friend. It goes back to Evans. Evans throws a dummy, goes on his own. He almost popped the ball out, and then in the end he's taken to ground about 15 metres shy of the halfway line. Last play, fed to Hastings. He'll put it high in the air. It should be taken on the full by Tuivasa-Sheck. It is. Now Tuivasa-Sheck's 30 out from his own goal line. He looks up and runs it back, and he runs into Orbison and Ferguson. He'll play it 39 metres out from his own goal post, 20 metres in from touch, almost in front of our broadcast position, as Qatar comes up trying to bore a hole in them.
Just having a look here. Big Manu's limping here on the left wing. Now, he's holding his hamstring here. I don't see him calling for anyone from the sideline. There's no doubt he's limping, and he is in a bit of trouble, Manu Vatuvei.
And I think I think Conrad Hurrell's in a bit of trouble too, as he takes that ball up, and he's got up rather unsteadily too, as they're taking the ball inside the opposition's half. It's played now to Isaac Luke. He sends a pass away to Johnson. Haven't seen much of him in the second half. He gets the ball away to Lasoni. Lasoni going for the line. Can he keep it alive? Gets it away to Johnson, but he passes off the ground. Oh, what a rush of blood to the head. Another unbelievably stupid error with a capital S and a capital E.
I'm with you. Just ridiculous. He went through a yawning gap. Great ball on the inside from Johnson to Lasoni. Now he took the fullback on. The fullback did a good job, Latrell Mitchell, in getting him. He hit the deck. He just got to his knees and passed it. That's just S-T-U-P-I-D with a capital S-T-U-P-I-D.
Fair dink. Oh,
Manu's off here.
Hey, Piggy, what error haven't we seen today?
Oh, no. Well, there's been plenty, hasn't there, to choose from. That was unbelievable again. The ball-carrying arm, as you guys saw, made contact with the ground. And it's another opportunity and goes begging for the Warriors, who are trying to get back in this contest with only under 14 minutes remaining.
Quite unbelievable, this game here at Gosford this afternoon on the Accor Hotel scoreboard, as Qatar comes flying in and buries his opposite Ferguson with a good tackle 40 metres out from the Warriors line. Isaac Luke comes up. Qatar's come off second best. He still hasn't got to his feet after that tackle. He's hurt his right leg. Vatuvei, the left winger's already off. And up goes a kick from Hastings, and going high for the ball. It went to Hopman. It knocks back to Tuivasa-Sheck. He's got the ball, but the referee's going to rule a knock on against the Roosters and not a knockback. Qatar's in awful trouble back on the 40-metre line, and on the Accor Hotel scoreboard, Roosters 28 lead the Warriors 26, 13 minutes to go. The Warriors will have the ball 10 metres out from their own goal line, and now they really have got some troubles, I think, out there, because Vatuvei is having this left leg, is it heavily strapped over here? We can notice the big ice pack going on that, so he's off. And I get a feeling this fella might be off too.
Well, Vatuvei looks like he's done a hammy to me. He's in all sorts, he won't be back. And looking at Qatar, you doubt whether he'll be back, because he couldn't put any pressure on that leg at all. I think it's his knee. They're checking his knee here at the moment. He came in and made a big hit on Ferguson and came off second best. What a battle it's been between those two again. It was a great battle last year, and it's been a really good battle today. I think Qatar's probably had a tad the better of it, but Ferguson's been good with ball in hand. But defensively, what the hell are they doing?
Well, I'm not sure where this game goes. I think it's still the same, Mark Riddell. Whoever can play the last 13 mistakes with the fewest mistakes, last 13 minutes, I should say, with the fewest mistakes, wins the game.
Yeah, well, I suppose when you look at things and the injuries to the Warriors in the last couple of minutes, you'd like to think the Roosters from now, with this 2-point lead, would be able to get home from here. But Carter, he looks like he's going to play on. There's really no option for the Warriors. As you said, Manu Vatuvei, he's off the field with what we think is a hamstring injury, so it's backs to the walls for the Warriors for this last 13 minutes.
And at the moment we're seeing Hurrell and Qatar playing in the left centre and left wing position, and Ashford and Lolahi are playing on the right side as the ball comes away, and Tavaga brings it up. He's lost the nose roll, which is what he had on for a while. Not sure whether he got permission.
He had a lugging bit as well.
Not sure whether he got permission from the stewards for the change of gear, but it was a nose roll for the first time. Now the ball goes away to Johnson, and Johnson kicks downfield. It takes a horrible bounce. It goes past Latrell Mitchell, goes all the way back to the goal line. He looks up, and there's a sea of grey Guernseys in front of him, and he's tackled here. About he throws a pass out the back door. Tupu must have called for that because it was a blind pass. It was a pass to nobody, but Tupu was there, and so I'll give him credit for the fact that Tupu's called for it. Kenny Dowell comes in. Kenny Dowell's going to be wrapped up by Ashford and Johnson. 22 metres out from the Roosters line on the Accor Hotel scoreboard. Roosters 28, Warriors 26. 12 minutes to go in the game. 31 metres out from their own line. Lou goes for a gallop for the Chooks. He's going to be tackled about 7 metres his own side of halfway, almost in centre field. He'll play it to Friend. Friend goes back to Evans. Evans over the halfway. He got away from Madalino, but tell you what, Hotman came in and cleans him up right on the halfway, and he'll play the ball right on the halfway. He's going to get up. He's getting up rather gingerly. He seemed to be twisted in that tackle as Hastings gets the ball. He looks up and kicks, and he kicks downfield. I tell you what, he might be kicking away from Tuivasa-Sheck, but you can't go to this man and you're in trouble, and Lola here almost got round the ball. He was only just taken by Elliott at the last moment. He'd almost got round Elliott, and then it would have been Lola here versus Mitchell. That would have been the ball game if he got round him. Well, not the ball game, but I tell you what, you think you're avoiding Tuivasa-Sheck. This bloke's just as dangerous, Lola here.
Oh, he's a good player, isn't he? He looks a very good player, and as we've always said, he's better off closer to the ruck as we see Lillyman roll the ball forward here. We've still got just over 11 minutes to go here. Who would know what's going to happen here? You know that the Raiders have got tries in them, or the Warriors, I should say. I think they've still got points in them, the Warriors.
Inside ball from Hotman, almost had Tuivasa-Sheck away on the last play. Hotman runs the ball along the sideline off his boot. The ball will go touch in goal. Only just did. As I tell you what, Qatar showing no ill effects of that leg injury. He was flying through, and the ball just beat he and Mitchell in to touch in goal. But if it had just stayed in the field of play, it would have been interesting whether Mitchell would have had to knock it dead or Qatar would have got there. I tell you what, in back play too, I noticed that Hurrell was basically belted in the mouth, totally accidental. When he was following the kick through, I think it was Ferguson put his arm out, but I don't think Ferguson would have known that Hurrell was there because he was looking at the ball. He just turned around, and as it turned out, I didn't see Hurrell scream at the referee saying, what about that? Now the ball goes to Hastings, and Hastings tackled. 5 short of the halfway line, 10 to go in the game, and the Accor Hotel scoreboard, the Roosters lead by 2, 28-26. They go back to the left side of the field. They've got the ball, the Chooks, on the 40-metre line. That's inside the Warriors' territory. On the scrum line, this is 7 tackle set, remember. Going for a gallop out of dummy half is Friend. Friend floats a pass away to Moa. Beautiful hands to Nicarima. Lovely ball away. It went to Orbison again, and Orbison's tackled. He's tackled only 20 metres out. They keep it going to the line. Nicarima for the line. He throws a pass back on the infield. What a great call from Madalino, because the man on the sideline who's got that bird's eye view, I'm not sure whether he heard that call, but I tell you what, Madalino didn't call for that. I'm a monkey's uncle, because the pass was perfectly thrown to him, Pig.
Oh, it certainly was. He was in the right spot, wasn't he, Ben Madalino? But it was the tackle, a beautiful tackle around the legs from Jeff Robson, one-on-one with Nicarima, came up with it. That was a try-saving tackle for the Warriors.
Now taking it up as Lillyman, he's tackled 12 metres short of the halfway line. The ball's played to Luke, and Luke gets it away to Robson, and Robson on it comes now to Hotman, and Hotman's tackled, and Hotman strides ahead. He's tackled 5 short of the halfway, 15 in from touch. Isaac Luke, he sends it back to Robson. Robson floats across field. On it goes to Johnson. Quick hands to Tuivasa-Sheck. He drops the ball behind him. It's picked up by Robson. Johnson. Johnson go for a run, throws a shocking pass, and Charlie Gubb's done wonderfully well to scoop it up. The ball goes out to the left-hander to Hurrell. Hurrell goes straight and hard. He loses the ball. The ball comes back at 6 to go. It's 6 to go, and Isaac Luke picks it up and goes for a run. He goes to the centre of the field, and Johnson's tackled from behind. They're ruling that ball was knocked out of the hands of Hurrell. The ball comes to Isaac Luke. On it goes to Gubb. Gubb charges ahead. Gubb's going to go horribly close to scoring. He's a metre or so out from the goal line. As they go on the attack here, the Warriors. It goes to Luke. He's just about been their best, hasn't he? Ball comes away to Madalino. Madalino, who brought up that intercept only a moment ago, gets up and has another crack. Madalino for the line. He's tackled only a metre out from the goalpost. Northern end of the field. 2 points the difference at the moment as Lillyman charges. Lillyman's got to the line, but he's pushed back into the field of play. On the attack they go, the Warriors again. And out of dummy half, Isaac Luke, I think he's held up. He's held up as he tried to roll over and score. He's still in the field of play, the referee's ruled. Now Lillyman, long ball comes down, picked up by Johnson, and Johnson keeps it alive to Robson. Robson picks up a difficult ball. Well, he should score. Oh no, he's taken on the line. What a tackle by Latrell Mitchell. He loses the ball. He loses the ball behind him, and the Roosters come up with it. Latrell Mitchell, that's a try saver. As Kenny Dow goes for a run, he gets away from one, gets away from two, and he's tackled 22 out from his own goal line.
Oh, geez, there was some good defence there from the Roosters there as Elliott takes it up the middle of the field. It was just a lost ball there. I think it was from Robson. He looks like he was going to score. Latrell Mitchell over the top, and Jake Friend underneath just stopped him in his tracks. There was some great defence there from the Roosters. They're hanging on. We got just over 7 minutes to go in the game. They're leading 28 points to 26.
And that's, of course, brought to you by Accor Hotels. And now another loose ball, and this time the Roosters have lost it, and the Warriors get it 45 metres out from the Roosters line. Well, both sides continue to make handling errors as the ball comes away to Lola here, and Lola here in the centre of the ruck. He stands, he delivers it to Johnston. Johnson floats across field, he uprose to Robson, and Robson almost gets away. He's tackled by Napa, and he'll play the ball about 28 metres out from the goal line. Isaac Luke from dummy half. He gets it on to Lillyman. Lillyman goes straight and hard. He's tackled by the two props, Moore and Napa. He's only about 15 metres out. They'll go back to the left with the referee. Penalty for hand on the ball. Surely they'll take the two to level it up. I reckon they'll take the two to level it up at 28 all on the Accor Hotel scoreboard. 6 minutes to go in the game.
Well, dear, what's going to happen here? You just wouldn't know. You know what? I hope this ends in a draw because I don't think either side really deserves to win this game. There's been some decent attack. There's been some abysmal defence. There's been some abysmal ball handling. There's been some great stuff. It's been despite the low quality of the game, it's been fascinating, really. They're going backwards and forwards, and once again, on the back of possession, sides are getting a roll on here, and at the moment, the Warriors have got all the momentum. The Roosters are hanging on for dear life. They're going to give away the 2 points here. It's going to be 28 all, with about 5 minutes to go in the game. He's actually called time off here, with 6 minutes and 3 seconds. See, this is what worries me, Dave. Why are we calling time off here now, when we didn't do it before when they were kicking for goal? I don't understand it.
There's an inconsistency, Darryl.
Well, they pick and choose when it is. Is there a rule that you call time off?
I don't know.
In the last 10 minutes?
I don't know what there is anymore.
Yeah, we're too old for this game.
Oh. Here's Johnson in front. Is he going to level the scores up on the Accor Hotel scoreboard with less than 6 minutes to go in the game? Johnson right in front of the sticks. He pilots it over the black dot. And on the Accor Hotel scoreboard, 5 minutes 40 seconds to go in the game. Roosters 28, Warriors 28. I think it's time to put on the seatbelts, Piggy, because I think we're in for a rather frenetic... No, we've had a rather frenetic 74 minutes, haven't we?
Oh, we certainly have. This game's never going to end, is it? I think I'm with Darryl. I think it deserves a draw. Hopefully they'll go to a golden point, and then they can just play out a draw because Darryl's 100% right. Neither of these sides have held the ball enough and built enough pressure to win the game.
Well, there's the kick-off from Latrell Mitchell. Gee, that was a great try-saving tackle as you Ted Friend underneath, and it was Mitchell over the top of Robson. When he got the ball, Darryl, I thought, he's through. He's gone. But somehow, and when Isaac Luke took off, when the referee said 6 to go and all the Roosters stopped, I thought he was going to race away and score.
Yeah.
Amazing. We got to play to the whistle. Now here go the Warriors. Where are they going to make an error in this set and give the Roosters an opportunity? Field goal comes into the option now, doesn't it? As they tackle 40 metres out on the goal line, their own goal line. Hopman takes it ahead. And Hopman, good strong run. He's still going as Hopman as he takes the ball to the halfway line. He's 15 metres in from touch. Isaac Luke out of dummy half. He dummies to the left. It goes to Robson. On it goes to Madalino. And Madalino takes it straight down the centre of the park. Last tackle coming up for the Warriors in this set as the ball is fed wide. It comes to Johnson, and Johnson puts it up high in the air. Who's coming for the ball? Mitchell's coming for the ball, and so too was Tupu, but Mitchell's done well, and then Mitchell, I tell you what, Lola here tried to steal it one-on-one, and in the end Mitchell shrugged away from the attempted tackle and ran 20 metres further downfield.
Great play there from Mitchell. Great play from him. He was under enormous pressure. They were all over him, the Warriors players, but he managed to get himself free of them. Now, they've got to try and get up here and get in a field goal position here, the Roosters. I just don't know who will be the person to do it. I reckon there was a shepherd there.
There's a clear shepherd
there. He ran behind a player. He got touched by a Warriors player, and they don't penalise him.
Well, the whole thing is, it would have been a try scoring. Oh, now they've lost the ball, but the referee, Kenny Dow, and that's justice. That is justice on the way this game has been ruled this year. because what Kenny Dow did in the lead-up is he went to play the ball here, he's lost the ball and the Warriors going to get a scrum feed. If that had been a try-scoring movement, that would have been a penalty for obstruction 99.99999 times out of 100. But because it happened on the halfway, they don't penalise it, Darryl.
Well, you now see here, 3.5 minutes to go in this game. You want to be on the Warriors now. You'd think Sean Johnson, he's the player. He's the the number one player out of these two sides that can kick a field goal. They've just got to get themselves in a position. You would think with 6 tackles, and the first one's going to be on the halfway line, that they should be able to do that, the Warriors.
Well, here's Conrad Hurrell taking it ahead. I notice Vete about to come on for the big fella Charlie Gubb, and that'll be the 8th interchange. So the Warriors have used up all their interchange. And they're going to play the ball, the Warriors. They're 39 metres out from the Roosters line. From dummy half, Isaac Luke gets it away. It goes through the hands and taking it into the hit line is Hopman. Hopman's tackle 30 metres out on the Roosters line. He's on this Western scrum line. The Accor Hotel scoreboard reads 28-28. Roosters 28, Warriors 28. As Vete drives ahead. He's tackled 19 metres out on the goal post. The ball out from dummy half, Isaac Luke. They were set up for the field goal. Luke has a run on his own and he runs back to within 10 metres of the half. 10 metres of the goalpost, right in front of the sticks. Johnson's right behind them. There's the pass. It's not the greatest pass, but Johnson has a shot at field goal. It hits the uprights, would you believe? And I'm not sure. Has it gone dead? Yes, it has. Now, what's the referee ruling here? The referee's put his hands up. He's going to check something here.
I think he's going to check whether it's gone dead. There's no way it's gone over the post.
Is he checking whether it's gone dead, or is he checking whether a Rooster player touched it in flight, which of course would mean when it goes dead, it's a line dropout? Is that what he's checking? I'm just not sure. What do you reckon, Mark Riddell?
Yeah, I just think he's checking when those Roosters players came running through, whether it come off them. He's checking it went under the post. I was with Darryl. I didn't think it went anywhere near going over.
No, it went under, mate, because as soon as it hit the post, it went straight
down. Yeah, 100% right, Darryl.
It would have gone in the air if it went over the post. Well, I think you might be checking to see when it actually went dead. But here it is. They've ruled on it. It's a 20-metre tap to the Roosters. There's a 0 tackle. They're only, 28 metres out from their own line.
So the attempted field goal, I thought for a moment, because the way it speared off, you thought, well, there might have been a chance a Rooster player touched it in flight, and he was looking at that as well. Anyway, in the end, the Roosters have got the ball, and they've got it 8 metres to the inside of halfway. They're going to be in field goal position very shortly, you'd think, as Guerra brings it ahead, and Guerra's tackle, 45 metres out from the Warriors line, 1:55 to go in the game. On the Accor Hotel scoreboard, Roosters 28, Moa charges ahead, Warriors 28. Moa gets a pass away to Friend. They didn't put him on the deck. They send the ball away. Back it comes to Napa. Now they're saying go straight and hard towards the post, and Napa's tackled. He's 29 metres, 30 metres out on the goal line. The ball comes away to Friend. Friend gets it on to Hastings. Hastings was set up for the field goal. Then he goes sprinting straight through to Hastings, and Hastings runs away from the cover and then wisely straightens up because he says, look, I realise now that we've still got a chance for a field goal, and Latrell Mitchell's the man who's going to have the shot. The ball slowly out of dummy half, comes to Friend, and Friend under pressure. Latrell Mitchell puts up a kick, and will it go dead? Well, it'll go dead because of the simple fact it's caught on the full by Tuivasa-Sheck in the in-goal area. Now the Warriors get 7 tackles from their 20-metre line as the ball is fed to Lola here. 28 all on the Accor Hotel scoreboard. We've got one set of 6, I reckon, before we see the... high tackle here on Ashford.
Shoulder charge.
This will be a penalty, and the shoulder charge, it's Dylan Napa. Who else?
I mean, if that's a shoulder charge, that's one of the dumbest plays you've seen. It now gives them a big opportunity. They've kicked the ball into touch. They're on the 30-metre line. His arm was up there. They must have ruled this high. I thought it was a shoulder charge.
I thought it was a high tackle, Darryl. But
that's what they've ruled, I reckon.
Righto.
Well, look, the Warriors. They're set up here now.
Ball comes to Luke out of dummy half, and he'll just throw the ball to Vete, and Vete takes it to within 15 metres of the goalpost. They're in great position now as the ball comes back to Lillyman, and Lillyman charges ahead, and Lillyman goes straight and hard. Johnson behind the ruck, Robson behind the ruck. It comes to Johnson. Johnson has the shot at field goal. It's charged down, picked up by Robson. Robson's chased here by Nicarima, and he's put down about 39 metres out on the goal line. I still reckon they'll have another shot at field goal here. As taking the ball up as Conrad Hurrell.
No time.
Hurrell takes it ahead. They've got one shot left here. They play the ball quickly. It goes away to Johnson, and Johnson has the long-range shot at field goal. It's gone wide, and no, what are we going to see now? We'll see it go into extra time at the end of full time, or the end of grill time. It is on the Accor Hotel scoreboard. Roosters 28, Warriors 28.
Great chase from Aidan Guerra. I mean, he was set up to kick the field goal, the 5'8" there, Sean Johnson. But Aidan Guerra just put the effort in. That is what it's all about, rugby league. That's trying to win the points for your team. He made an effort when he was exhausted. Came from nowhere, charged the kick down. The ball ended up 40 metres out from the line. That has saved the game for the Roosters, without a doubt. Wonderful chase from Guerra.
Wow. And now we've got 10 minutes. Will we get through 10 minutes without any points being scored?
I doubt it. Here's the toss. What do you do here? If you win the toss, do you kick off or do you receive?
Just take note, network stations. We do have news commitments in 7 minutes' time. If this game does go the extra 10 minutes, we'll be sticking with it. We will be brushing the news. So network stations will be staying with the action here. If we need to butt into the news, we will, and we'll have to miss the news. So just take note, the panel operators and network stations across the country.
Thank you, Mark.
Well, I think the Roosters have won the toss here, and I didn't see what he's going to do. I was listening to that information from Mark.
I would have been bowling from the northern end because Picky said this.
Would you open with a spinner?
Oh, it'd be a slow deck. Yeah, I think I'd open with the spinner. Yeah, slowish deck.
All right,
on the field.
So what do you think on a fair dinkum basis? It looks like the Warriors are going to kick off. They are going to receive the Roosters. They're not changing ends. They're going to run exactly the way they've been running here. So this is it. All hands on deck here. Mistakes just can't be made in this period of time because you might well cost your team victory. Any sort of mistake in the extra time.
You'd kick it to Dylan Napa, wouldn't you? When you'd kick off.
Yeah. Just another update, boys, for network stations. No news at 4 o'clock, so 6 minutes away the news. No news on 2GB, 4BC, 2CC and network stations. We're sticking with the football as we enter extra time. Warriors to kick off against the Roosters.
And here it is, 28 all on the Accor Hotel scoreboard. Into extra time again. It's unbelievable, though, that the contests we've had this year that have been so close at the end of the game. We've had some amazing games. So there's the kick-off. It's not a great kick-off because it's not long enough. Although in the end it's allowed to bounce by Nicarima, which means he's going to be tackled about 18 metres out from his own goalpost. I mean, that's where you really need someone to charge onto the ball, take it on the full and get past your own 30 because you'd like to get into kick pressure position at the end of the opening set.
Well, the last two kick-offs he's had, Isaac Luke, one he got a result when Napa knocked it on, the other one nearly went dead. That one was an awful kick. They're going to be, I reckon, within position here to have a shot, the Roosters. I think that's tackle 3. They're not up to halfway yet. Maybe they won't be, but, geez, it was a poor kick-off.
Here's Guerra, the man that charged the kick down, that saved the day from the perspective of the Roosters. Last tackle coming up. His friend gets it away now. It goes to Hastings. He puts up a high bomb. Coming for it is Lola here. Bit of pressure coming through, but Lola here, as you'd expect, takes it brilliantly. And Lola here starts to sprint downfield. He's got around a couple. He's into the clear. He offers the ball up. Away it goes then to Tuivasa-Sheck. Tuivasa-Sheck evades 1. Tuivasa-Sheck evades 2. Tuivasa-Sheck races away and scores the winning try off of the back of the brilliant run from Lola here, and it's Roger Tuivasa-Sheck who says, "Chewy on your beat, former teammates. The Warriors are home."
Oh, look at the Roosters players. You know, that was an awful kick. I've got to say that I thought that was an awful kick from Jackson Hastings. He's had a pretty good game here today, and I feel sorry for him. But the kick wasn't good enough. He needed to kick that deep. He needed to kick for field position. He put a bomb up. He had 2 players rush through on Lola here. Lola here, as we've been saying all day, is a quality player. Put some footwork on there. Just went straight past a couple of the Roosters players and just set the ball up beautifully for Tuivasa-Sheck, who got away from Hastings. He couldn't get hold of him. The winger, Sean Kenny-Dowell, had a crack. Couldn't get hold of him. And how happy would he be, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck?
Well, you know what it's all about. Well, both of you do, playing against former clubs, Piggy Riddell and Daryl Broman. But Pig, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, I can imagine what he'd be turning around and saying. He actually probably, knowing him, he probably feels a bit sorry for his teammates, but I don't think so. Not for long.
Oh, look, we've mentioned it a fair bit over the last couple of weeks about players playing against their former clubs. He would have loved nothing more than that. It's a script, isn't it? Score the winning try against your former club to win the game in Golden Point. Unbelievable circumstances. But I think it was Daryl Thirsty who mentioned the kick from Hastings on the last play. And the other thing with not only the kick, but also the chase. I mean, when you're in that situation, you want to chase in numbers and just lock him up. And especially on someone like Lolohea, they let him go. They let him go back through the middle of the field. and obviously they've paid for it massively this afternoon.
Well,
thirsty.
Yeah.
Can't go any further, so I'm in the middle of the field.
It's all right. No worries. Well, I hope we can get some. Well, the one good thing about it is the players have got to come back past you and have a shower.
They do.
Eventually they'll come back that way. But Daryl, that was a game really that. You're probably right. A draw was probably the appropriate result because probably neither team deserved to win the game.
No, I agree. I think a draw would have been a really good result there. But again, on the brilliance of Lola here, he caught the ball beautifully. He went through a couple of feeble attempted tackles. Then he just found himself in a bit of space. He looked back on the inside and turned the ball back inside to Tuivasa-Sheck, who was backing up beautifully and just ran 40 metres, I'd say. Tuivasa-Sheck fended off one of the better players for the Roosters in Sean Kenny-Dowell and scored.
And don't forget the Man of the Match award, thanks to Harvey Norman and Bryden's lawyers. Shortly we'll give you 3 players who are in the running for that award. When you hear them, be one of the first 3 callers through on the 2GB prize line, 1300 722 873. The first caller will have first choice of the 3 players and so on until all the players are allocated. And then when we announce the continuous call team Man of the Match, the caller who has that player will win $150 thanks to Bryden's lawyers. Call 1300 722 873 for your chance to win $150. All thanks to Bryden's lawyers, the name you know, and the lawyers you can trust, and Harvey Norman. And I think that Sean Johnson is going to be speaking to the pig. Let's see what happens as the pig's just putting his headphones back on. He probably didn't hear what I just said then, but I think you've got Sean Johnson down there.
Yeah, I do. I've got a very happy Sean Johnson. Sean, what did you make of the whole game? It seemed like neither side could get a lot of control in that one.
No, I think both sides play a similar style of footy. I love throwing the ball around. We're not conservative, so it was a pretty entertaining game. Both sides attacked well, tried to defend our best, but mate, I'm just stoked we come away with it.
Was it an enjoyable game to play in? Because it wasn't your sort of 5 up for a kick at all, as you say. Both sides willing to test it and throw the ball around.
Yeah, I guess my style of play, I like that sort of stuff. I know the Roosters are doing it tough at the moment, but they showed today. They're going to be all right this year. They got to keep working, and I'm sure it'll turn for them.
You must be proud of the boys, how they toughed it out. Obviously, Manu came off with his injury. Conrad had to come into the centres. Solomon Carter, he copped an injury as well, couldn't come off the field. Must be pleased with how they toughed it out.
Yeah, really pleasing. There's an expectation in this group that whoever goes in at whatever position, they're going to get the job done, and we saw that get tested out tonight.
What about Roger? He'd be happy getting one up on his old team in Golden Point.
Unbelievable. Tuilala here, looking for a place to step up. Absolutely massive play. So, stoked for the boys, stoked for Tui, stoked for Rod, stoked for everyone. So, yeah.
Congratulations, mate. Go and enjoy it with the boys.
Cheers, mate.
Sean Johnson having a chat to Piggy Riddell. You go mad, Piggy. We've got no news here, no news network stations. We're sticking with the wash-up from this game. 32-28, the Warriors beating the Roosters in Golden Point extra time. And I'm sure you'd agree, Daryl, fantastic to see a try winning a game in extra time.
Yeah, it was. Both sides had their opportunities to kick a field goal, but the defence from both sides, they obviously knew that they were going to do it, and they got in their face. And we saw Sean Johnson's attempt charge down, and we also saw Latrell Mitchell get set for one and took it, but just wasn't good enough. There was a defensive player came up and hassled him enough so he couldn't get a decent kick on it. So it ended up being an exciting game. A lot of mistakes, but just purely based on the scoreline, it ended up being quite exciting at the end. But I do think the right team won in the end. I think they were the better side. I think they had more chances. I think they scored more tries, and I think they're just starting to run into a little bit of form, but you got to feel for the Roosters. 2 weeks in a row now, they've put in big efforts, and to be beaten in extra time in one of them and by 2 points in the other game, it's a disappointment for them. 5 in a row they've lost now. They're going to have to, go back and once again just try and work out what they can do to improve the situation. They desperately need some of their better players back, and as we know, they've got about 5 of them out.
Yeah, exactly right. Big problems at the moment for the Roosters. I need 3 players off you, Daryl, for Harvey Norman and Bryden's lawyers, our man of the match competition.
Yeah, I'm going to go Isaac Luke. I thought Ryan Hoffman was very good for the Warriors in the back row, the captain, and for the Roosters, I thought Taker Hour was sensational today. Again, it was pretty difficult, but they're the 3 players who are in line. Again, you could pick half a dozen.
Yeah, exactly right. So Isaac Luke, Toker Hour and Hoffman, the 3 players. If you'd like to be a part of the man of the match competition, go to the phones, 1300 722 873, 1300 722 873. Back downstairs, here's Piggy Riddell.
Yeah, I'm down here with one of those players Darryl mentioned Ryan Hoffman. Hoffy, how did you see that one, mate? I just interviewed Sean Johnson. Both sides throwing the football around, but neither side able to get any control over the match.
Yeah, look, it was, one team was in front and the other team was really just a topsy-turvy sort of game. And look, for us, those games in previous years, we sort of, this year and the back end of last year, we would have capitulated in. So it showed a lot of character for this team. To come back, we probably should have closed it there before Golden Point, but we didn't. And that just shows a bit of resolve in making sure that we get the right result in the end.
What about the quality right at the end there? That to have a player like Lolohea on the wing that could create so much for you. It was the kick back inside in the first half for Johnson's try. This time he sets Roger Tuivasa-Sheck up for the Golden Point. Quality players in this team.
Yeah, there is, and look, that's what we need. We've got a good team here. We've got the players that can do the hard work, just rucking the ball up, but also got the blokes that can break open the game. And look, if you look on that side, they're also got Blake Ashford defends the house down really solid. Then a bloke like Tui who can create something out of nothing. And I suppose a bit fitting for old Rog to get the try there at the end.
I've got to ask you, I think one of the guys upstairs mentioned it. I think he's only used one interchange going into half-time. Is that pre-planned?
Oh, no, I don't think so. There was a few tries scored in the first half, to be honest, so we probably got a bit more rest than what we would have had normally. But, look, that just shows, these boys, everyone thinks that the Warriors don't really have much of a tank. We certainly do. And, look, I think maybe having those 7 interchanges in the second half, we had to lose one there for Manu, and I think it paid dividends.
What about, last week, obviously, the win over the Newcastle Knights? Today's victory in Golden Point. Now is it about just improving little bits week by week, building some momentum going forward?
Yeah, look, and that's what I think we've been doing all year. Besides the first half against the Tigers round one, we haven't been playing too bad. We've been a bit patchy, but we haven't been too bad. And, we've been improving. We sort of felt we went a bit backwards after the Melbourne game against Newcastle, but we still managed to score some points. And, look, we need to be a team that can grind out a win, and that's what we did today.
Certainly sets up a very winnable game next weekend back at home against Manly.
Yeah, look, we just want to, like I say, build momentum. We want to just keep picking up wins, and we realise how much fun winning is, and we just want to keep doing it.
You're outstanding today, Hoffy. Well done, mate.
Cheers, Piggy.
Ryan Hoffman having a chat to Mark Piggy Riddell. 32-28 Warriors over the Roosters. In extra time, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. I guess the script couldn't have been written any better as far as he was concerned, up against his former club, but he gets the match winner for the Warriors here in front of a pretty good crowd at Central Coast Stadium. Still plenty of people hanging around, plenty of people coming up to support the Warriors too, which is fantastic to see. And I know that the Roosters have done a lot of work this week here on the Central Coast of New South Wales to promote the game of rugby league. Good job, Piggy. You can rejoin us up here in the broadcast box, mate, and we'll get stuck into some more fun. And keep in mind too, we've got that other game getting underway very, very shortly between the Parramatta Eels and the Penrith Panthers. I'm assuming that means in the background the kids are allowed onto the playing surface, and they are. It's a charge of the Light Brigade into the middle of the field. Of all the kids run on there and start kicking the football around, which is fantastic.
Look at Piggy go.
He thought they said free ice cream.
Footy tab is through, $229.80, $229.80. That, of course, paying on 28 all. They pay on full-time score, not the end of extra time. So 28 all, $229.80. But a win to the Warriors, 32-28 over the Roosters here at Central Coast Stadium.